Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Jackson Hole High School sports broadcast from Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network. I'm Jake Nichols, Mac Fairbairn's here, Kimmy K, and we are situated in Driggs, Idaho. Driggs, Wyoming. No, Driggs, Idaho. All right, I've got an assignment for you right off the bat, Mac, because I can't do everything, and we're going to need you for this.
Okay.
I want to know the scores of the games the last time these two teams met in December in Jackson. I can't remember if you'll look that up for me.
Yes, I can totally get that.
We got this second half of a home and home is what we're looking at with the Teton Timberwolves boys and girls and the Jackson Bronx boys and girls back-to-back tonight right here in Driggs. We had them at home back in December, and I know the girls and boys, both Jackson girls and boys team lost that game, so this is the revenge match. And all the action brought to you by Jackson Lumber, Jackson's original board store. The town square inns of Jackson Hole, including the Antler Inn, Elk Country Inn, Cowboy Village Resort, and 49er Inn and Suites. Big O Tires, a reputation you can ride on in the Target Plaza. WYDOT, the Wyoming Department of Transportation, keeping our highways safe, and Blue Spruce Cleaners, green, affordable, convenient, friendly dry cleaning service. Which reminds me, I've got to pick something up at Blue Spruce.
That would be mine.
Okay. Mac, what did the boys do last time these teams met? It was December 21st, I think, a little while ago.
Yes, over almost exactly a month ago. And I was not able to make that game, unfortunately, but that game went into overtime, very close contest, and it was a loss of 48-43, so a low-scoring contest, very defensive battle, went down all the way to the end.
I would assume it would be another close one, although this Teton team has gotten better since we last saw them. Watch out. They have lost a couple in a row, though, but it's a good bet. Hey, there's Coach right there. They've got some pieces, and they're really starting to jive. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think they're a little bit better team, Teton boys are, than when we saw them last, but we'll see. Meanwhile, we're going to concentrate on the girls. It's the girls' game first. Last time the girls met, maybe not as close. This Teton Timberwolf girls team is pretty good. What was the score, Mac?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
Uh-oh.
Still pending. We got our good internet here. Let's see. Oh, boy.
I'll tell you what the girls have done recently, the Teton Timberwolves, that is. The Teton Lady Timberwolves are 12-3 overall, but they're 0-2 in their own conference, which is fierce, including a 2-game losing streak for these girls, which is unusual. They lost, they last played January 17th, 3 nights ago, and Sugar Salem blew them out of the house, 69-33 the final there. So these Lady Timberwolves are going to be looking for somebody to beat on tonight. They may be a little raring to go. We'll see. The all-time matchup between these two teams, Teton and Jackson girls, is 5-14. The Jackson girls have won just 5 times in the last 19 meetings. We talked about this last time these teams met, these Teton Timberwolves, back in the day when they had the likes of Reese Coons, Morgan Johnson, Grace Hogan, Melissa Bagley, Cece Martinez, Tatum Strike, Kenley Brown. I can go on and on. That's like a Supers Globetrotter team of girls over there. But this not quite as good a team like those, but pretty darn good. What was the score last time?
Yes, I got a final score of 54-26. So it was a pretty good win for the Teton Timberwolves. And I'd also want to point out, as you pointed out in the last 2 broadcasts, the last time Jackson got a win was against Teton, so maybe there could be a turnaround. That was when, ironically, Joyce was coaching Jackson, and now she's coaching Teton.
Wow, I see all kinds of things coming together. It would be huge, I got to say. I mean, our Lady Bronx had a chance just this past weekend in both games against Kelly Walsh and Natrona. A reasonable chance to get a win there. Maybe not as reasonable tonight, but we'll take a look at what I think are the keys to the game for the girls. And the big one is don't take a step back, meaning I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but I don't see a way that the Jackson Lady Broncs can get a W out of this place in this building against this Timberwolf team. Stranger things have happened. So if you can't get the win, at least don't step backwards in the progression. You had to feel really good about last weekend, Mac. You didn't get a win in either game, but you look fantastic. You led in a majority of the game Friday. So don't step backward. Don't let this one, if Teton comes out flying, don't let it bother you. It's a good team.
If I remember correctly, though, when we played them on our gym, we started that first quarter pretty neck and neck even with them.
Yeah, we were there for a little bit.
We were there for a little bit, and then it just kind of like that third quarter again where they went ahead, and then we just could never gain back. But if I remember, they held their own for the first half of the game.
Well, that's been a theme for these Lady Broncs, is they've been having very good starts to these basketball games. They started out 7-0 against Natrona, and they started out with a 15-12 halftime against Kelly Walsh, so they're very good at starting games. Now they just got to finish those games and play all four quarters and compete throughout the contest.
My other key is going to be key in almost every game. Mac, you know from playing basketball that the great ones slow everything around them down. The game slows down for them, and part of it is thinking ahead. You talked about these Lady Broncs doing something different last weekend that you haven't seen, and that was being ready to shoot. That means they're thinking ahead. They're thinking, if I get the ball, I'm going to square up, and if I got the shot, I'm taking it. They had to think one step ahead. What if I get this pass? Who else on the floor is open? Be looking at the floor. I think you got to be one step ahead to slow the game down for yourself.
Absolutely. I think you got to be a step ahead as well, because there is a shot clock, which we're not used to in Wyoming. So Idaho does have a shot clock, which means the girls are going to have to be ready to shoot. Otherwise, it could result in extra turnovers that you don't necessarily want, of course. So they're going to have to be ready to shoot once that shot clock winds down to 0.
Lady Broncs come in 0-8 on the season, 0-2 in conference. I'm not going to depress us with the numbers, but they look better and better. Olive Firmanek, who I missed, I might have been the only one, but I really missed her 5'10" presence. She was at a volleyball tournament last weekend. I think the Broncs, with her, could have won that Kelly Walsh game, or should have won it, and maybe could have won that Natrona game. Firmanek, wait till you get a look at her, Max. She's good. But they play, Coach Bingham plays a lot of kids. They'll go deep in the bench. They'll get everybody some playing time for the Teton Timberwolves under Coach Pat Hogan in the 4A over here. A very tough high country 4A conference. They're 12-3, 0-2 in conference. Let's have the girls introduce themselves, and I think when we come back, we'll be ready to get this one going.
Ari Fowler, sophomore. Ashlyn Chamberlain, junior. Olive Firmanek, sophomore. Hayden Plog, junior.
Maria Garcia, senior.
Zoe Bosch, junior.
Allison Birchup, senior.
Lucy Webb, senior. Mads Holland, senior. Shylon Olive, senior. Trinity Green, junior. Kat Ankney, senior. Farley Rommel, junior.
The shot clock, Mac? I don't even know.
I believe it's 35 seconds, which would make the most sense because college is 30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it would make it. For the boys, maybe if somebody's milking a lead, maybe for the girls, but I mean, with my idea that they should shoot last weekend, you better not get near the shot clock violation, but we'll see if they've probably been given the heads up by Coach Bingham, but I don't think it's going to factor tremendously. Let's take you down to the floor as we get the national anthem and get this one started.
Woo. And your Teton Timberwolves.
Please remember that sportsmanship is a top priority of our schools, the Idaho High School Activities Association, and the Student Advisory Council. Our paid and complimentary admission to this event entitles you to enjoy the exhibition of skills developed by your students in an educational setting. Please give the participating athletes your positive encouragement and support. Your effort to applaud the talents of all our players will be appreciated. Booing, taunting, or intimidating the officials and opponents is unfriendly and unacceptable. Please be an example of those around you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please stand for our national anthem.
National anthem out of the way. It's got special meaning on MLK Day and on Inauguration Day. I assume that all went. I wasn't watching.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah. They were all being quiet.
We had a new well, we're the broadcast crew. We can do whatever the heck we want. We're not here to watch the game. We're here to talk about it. Let's get the starting lineups beginning with our Jackson Bronx back.
We got Ari Fowler, number 0, starting at the guard position. Watch out for her three-point shooting. She had 3 threes against Kelly Walsh. Now we got Allison Burcham getting the start. That's awesome to see that she's getting the start.
Yeah.
She didn't start against Kelly Walsh or Natrona, so that's what you love to see. Then we got Lucy Webb, known for bringing the ball up for these Lady Bronx. She's got good aggression, low post moves. Then we got Mads Holland playing at power forward or center. And then you got Kat Ankeny playing the center, and that will add to the Bronx height to stop those low post points that Teton might impose.
Yeah, Coach Bam kind of mixing it up with the starting 5. You never know who's going to get the start, which is great. You got to give everybody some playing time. I love it. Now for the hometown Teton Lady Timberwolves.
Number 30.
It will be Caitlin Zog, the senior, averaging a bucket a game. These stats are a little bit old for Teton. Haley Brown, the freshman, getting the start. She's been added more and more to the mix as the season has gone. Gracie Kincaid, Adeline Hansen, the 5'9" sophomore, not normally a starter. And number 1, Jimmy Williamson, the 5'7" sophomore. So none of I don't see Cadence, and I think we didn't see her last time, Kimmy, in December.
That's right, because you kept asking where she was at because you thought for sure she'd be there.
Yeah, Abigail Barkdale is tough to match up against with her size, and Cadence Hansen.
I see her on the bench.
Makes Teton a difference. So both coaches going kind of with some deep bench starters. All right. We can do that. Teton's in their home whites, trimmed in that crimson and orange and purple, whatever it is.
Maroon, orange, and white.
Thank you. They're moving right to left on your YouTube. And Jackson in their road darks, black trimmed in orange and white. And the tap is won by Ankeny, so it'll be Jackson basketball to start. We're underway. Ari Fowler going to launch a 3. That's too strong, and the rebound goes to Teton. It's Caitlin Zog who comes up with a loose ball. Jimmy Williamson right here at the near elbow, top of the key to Gracie Kincaid. She quarterbacks this half-court offense. There's Caitlin Zog right in front of your screen, watched by Fowler. Baseline drive, reverse layup, almost went. She gets her own rebound, but found it too crowded to shoot, so she kicks it out. There's a shot no good from Adeline Hansen. And 2 tries, nothing to show. Lucy Webb with it now for the Lady Broncs. To Ankeny, far side. Cat floats a pass. Oh, she threw to Mads Holland. Mads was coming towards her. The pass was over her head. Just a miscommunication. Haley Brown. We didn't see a lot of her last month. She's an exciting young freshman. I would assume kin to the other Browns that have played basketball over here.
Oh, yes. Ty Brown, very familiar with. Played against him. He's a very athletic player.
And there'll be a foul on the play. It'll send Gracie Kincaid to the line. She's 2 for 4 by my stats. They haven't updated it. It's hard to get the Idaho high school team stats. I have to rely on the team keeping it update, and they haven't really. I think they don't want any secrets to get out. Hansen's 1 for 2 to make it a 1-0 score here. Just underway in Driggs. It's Teton Jackson. Kat Ankeny with it now for the Broncs. Over to Ari Fowler. Gets a nice pick from Holland. And now over to Lucy Webb. And she loves to drive, and I love that about Lucy.
Yes, and that's good going up with the strong left hand and drawing that foul.
So many times her teammates get a ball and just look to pass before they really. Lucy's aggressive. She said, I'm going to make something happen, and drove there, drew 2 defenders to her, and drew the foul. Well, a chance to tie here, 6:37 in the first. Lucy takes a good look at this one. Oh, it rolls in and out. That should have went in there. I'm scared to do the replay again today, so we may not have any replay. Lucy Webb, good. With that one, we're tied. 1-1. Here comes Teton. It's Gracie Kincaid, the senior, floats one to Caitlin Zog. Zog double team, coughed it up, but right to Haley Brown, who missed the left-handed layup. Now Haley bumps into one of her own players, Adeline Hansen. Ari Fowler was in the middle of that sandwich, and the loose ball going to be controlled by Teton around the perimeter. Here's Caitlin Zog. Thought about a cutting Williamson, but won't do it. Over to Haley Brown. Now Gracie Kincaid inside to Zog. Zog working on Fowler. Oh, and a big step in. That's not Fowler. Sorry, Lucy Webb, who stepped in there, and Lucy's got to be guilty, right?
Yes. And just noticing from the eye test, Teton just looks like a physically aggressive team.
They sure do. I'll tell you one thing they do really well in the half court, Mac, is if there is somebody open, even a sliver open, they'll find her. They're really good and creative with their offense. Good ball movement, and they're patient. If you leave your man open, if you're playing man, or if there's anyone open, they all see it. They're all 5 players. Every time Teton's on the floor, they see who's up. So don't leave your person open, even for a second, because they'll see it, and they'll get the ball to that open player. Here's Kincaid. Works it to Adeline Hansen. Bounce pass inside to Zog, but Ankeny all over her. That just caught. Yeah, there's the cough up. Oh, and it's taken back away. But that was good D by Mads Holland, or rather Kat Ankeny, who shot there from Gracie Kincaid's off the mark. Rebound Jackson. Good defense by the Lady Broncs early.
Yeah, so far no field goals by either team to start early.
Mads Holland with it now. She's going to dribble down the right lane, put up that layup, but it's too strong. Rebound goes to
Lucy Webb.
Adeline Hansen, but she coughed it up to Webb. Yeah, there's Burcham. She has the ball poked out of her hands, holds both hands up and says, "That wasn't me, that was Gracie." And the refs agree. Kincaid last to touch. Lucy Webb will inbounds, just under 5 to go. It's 1-1 baseball score, Mac. Triggered in Ankeny. She gives it to Mads Holland. Holland out to Ari Fowler. She's going to try a drive. Runs into folks. Ari often will drive like that without the idea that maybe it's a dead end. as that drive from Gracie Kincaid is left short. I love Ari. Ari's a three-point shooter for the most part, but like a Caitlin Clark, like some players, like she's developed an attack game as well. But that attack game, I don't know if she visualizes there's people in her way, or if she's like a running back that she doesn't care. She's going to bowl them over.
Well, I think in that possession, she was trying to draw the foul, and it looked like she got fouled, but there was no call, which is going to happen in the game of basketball. But I like it when Ari just drives and tries to go up with it.
Yeah, we need more of it from Lucy and Ari are the two players of Bronx that will do that, as Gracie Kincaid converts both at the stripe, and it's 3-1. Lucy Webb with it now. There were substitutions. We get our first look at Trinity Green in the game for the Bronx. Also,
Maggie Holland.
Stole away there by Lucy Webb. Webb to Fowler. Cross court. And I think she wanted Holland, but Green thought it was for her. Mads now kicks it out to Maggie. Maggie Holland going to give it back to Ari Fowler. Fowler looking at it inside for Mads Holland, and the pass was really the only place that her player could get it, but Adeline Hansen got a hand on it as well. She knocked it out. Jackson ball. Webb under her own basket. 4:09 to go in the first. Jackson down 3-1. Fowler to Holland. Holland to Green, and her shot is blocked by Kincaid. A lot of contact, but they let it go. Here's Gracie Kincaid now. Pulls up, looking to cross court, but a lot of hands in her way. Good defense right now by Jackson. They cause another turnover, and Mads Holland's on the loose change.
And this is exactly what you want if you're the Bronx. You want to get stops repeatedly, and that's stopping Teton from scoring.
Lucy Webb, there's the foul she wanted to draw earlier. She tripped over, I believe, Jemmy Williamson with a block. Lucy went down awkwardly, but is right back up. 3:39 to go in the first. 3-1 Teton. Webb, she got Holland wide open. She went in the backcourt, though, to Green. Now here's Maggie Holland working on Adeline Hansen. Now gets it back to Lucy Webb. Webb bumps hard again with Jimmy Williamson. Lucy Webb is a competitor.
Yes, she is.
Man. I mean, she just lower the shoulder. She will be physical with you. She don't care who it is. She's tough. Webb with the inbounds pass to Holland. Good hands there from Maggie. And the shot won't go, but that was a pass that could have squirted out her hands, and it didn't. Fowler saves that loose ball. Mads Holland is walking the baseline, and she was walking the tightrope, and she had to get rid of it, and she did, and went right out of bounds.
Yeah, and talking about that shot by Maggie Holland it was good that she kept it up high. That's very hard to guard if you're trying to defend that.
The shot didn't work. I was more impressed with the pass catch. We've seen Ari sometimes not squeeze that ball enough. Holland, I thought that ball was going to go through her hands, and she just she has strong hands, I guess. Inside, that might be a foul on Ari.
It is.
It is.
I believe that might be her second foul, and that's not good if you're Jackson.
They're showing one. And the first shot from the free-throw line from Haley Brown, the 5'8" freshman, averaging a point a game, but she's been playing more and more. I got a feeling in some games I don't have stats for her. She's been maybe coming on. 0 for 1 from the line. Her second is short as well. But Trinity Green tracks down the rebound. She's so quick on the floor, isn't she?
Yes, she is. She's very good at rebounding. I wouldn't be surprised if her total goes up to 5 rebounds a game.
Fowler with a long three that just came up short. Teton trying to fast break, but they don't have the numbers, or do they? Gracie Kincaid backdoor. Oh, Jackson was back, and then they lost track of Gracie Kincaid, who slipped in behind the senior. Savvy came in late.
Well, it's interesting to say that's the first field goal of the game, and we're already 6 minutes in.
Maggie Holland has the answer. And another nice floating shot. She knows, I mean, she is tall, but she's putting the ball up where nobody can get a hand on it. Another backdoor cut here. Shot from Brown is no good and out of bounds. Haley said they touched it, and she's right. They is Jackson. 5-3. 2:14 to go in the first. Inbounds pass coming from Gracie Kincaid into Haley Brown. He missed a shot, and the rebound to Maggie Holland.
Nice.
Hands off to Lucy Webb, brings it across the timeline, watched by Jimmy Williamson. Williamson took a swing at her, went right over her head. She was looking for the ball, I hope. Jack Strickland with it now for Jackson. Hands off to Webb, bounce pass to Fowler. Ari going to walk the baseline, picks up a double team, and her shot short.
Nice.
Good defense. Trinity Green with a putback. That won't go either. And now a tie-up and a foul. Or a yeah.
On Trinity. I thought it might have been Ari.
They're going to get Trinity Green. Her first. Team 5th already. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, in the bonus, Teton has only scored by free throws except for that one fast break layup that they had. So it will be interesting to see if Teton makes Jackson pay by continuing to attack the rim and drawing those fouls.
Teton has got a roster full of pretty good free throw shooters. You don't want to get in the habit of doing this. And that one's in from Haley Brown.
Ooh. 4 substitutions.
Yeah, wow. Cleaning house. It's a hockey line change for Teton. As we get Abigail Barkdale in the game. She is trouble. She was dynamite the last time these two teams met. She just pulled down that rebound. Her putback is short, though. Ari Fowler trying to get Lucy Webb, and that pass off the mark. Here comes Clara Nykamp. Her shot no good. Rebound Green, but she lost the handle coming down with it. And Nykamp took it from her. Clara Nykamp, another shot no good, and Ari Fowler with the rebound. Here comes Ari. Pulls up and gives it to Maggie's 23, right?
Yeah, Maggie's 23.
Okay. That's what I thought. All right,
Your
Ari
birthday.
Fowler. Fowler, I think they let her walk a little as she tried to sandwich herself between Brown and Nykamp. There wasn't a lot of room there. Let's see, did she draw the foul?
She drew the foul.
All right.
Yeah, the interesting thing is it looked like a shooting foul almost, but they're going to say it's on the floor.
Yeah, she was trying to underhand it, kind of a desperation thing. It's like when Mahomes is going down and he just throws it somewhere and they say incomplete pass.
Because of his dramatic move. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Matt's Holland with it now. Looking for Ari Fowler and a cross-court pass. Off the mark. Yeah, these Lady Broncs throw a lot of balls away with the passing. They got to be more focused, more accurate with this passing because a lot of times it's the right idea. That one was. Holland was open.
Yes, they've had lots and lots of good ideas, and eventually they'll start connecting, and then Bronx will be scoring left and right.
Cadence Hansen is out there now, and it won't be long before she gets on the score sheet. Reagan Moss with a shot that missed. Here comes Abigail Barkdale up and in. The 5'8" senior is their leading scorer and shows you why right there. It's 8-3 now. Teton with 24 seconds to go in the first. Lucy Webb pulls up. She might have drew another one.
She did, I believe.
Yeah, she got Reagan Moss her first.
Not. One more and we're at the line.
Lucy Webb will inbounds. 24 seconds. Jackson down 5. Not too bad on the road. Down at just 8-3. Here's Mads Hollins with it. Works it out to Webb. Her 3, top of the key. No good. Sky high for the rebound is Reagan Moss. Now over to Cadence Hansen from 3. That's off the mark. Rebound Fowler. Out to Webb. Lucy Webb play for the last shot here. 2 seconds. 1 second. Mads Holland's going to let it go. That was Jack Strickland who said, man, I got to get rid of this thing. So the score after 1 is Teton 8, Jackson 3. We'll be right back with the start of the second after the.
Experience Jackson Hole like a local while staying at the Antler Inn, Elk Country Inn, Cowboy Village Resort, or 49er Inn and Suites. With the best entertainment, dining, shopping, bars, and brews all in walking distance, you'll never want to leave. Call 1-800-4-TETONS or find them on the web at townsquareinns.com.
You're watching and listening to live coverage of Jackson Hole High School sports on KZ95.
Mac, if you're Coach Bingham, you got to be happy with the defense you played. You've held a team that scores a bunch. This team averages nearly 50 points a game. You held them to 8 on their own court.
Well, that's very impressive considering Teton scored 54 on the Bronx last time back in December. So now that they're on pace for only 32 points, you should be very happy with that. Now it's just you got to get your own points in that bucket.
Yep.
Yep. Got to develop a little rhythm offensively. And how many times have we seen offense come, when one person usually lights the fuse? Somebody sparks it. A Fowler 3, a Lucy Webb drive. Something's going to happen that's going to get the bench up and everybody pumping, and then maybe the points flow. Right now, 3 in a period, not any great shakes, but the defense Jackson's playing has been impressive against a high-powered offense of Teton. Here's Trinity Green and Lucy Webb bringing it up. Lucy Webb to Jack Strickland. Over to Mads Holland. She'll try a shot too strong. And the rebound to Nijkamp. Clara Nijkamp with it now, directing traffic. Webb comes out to guard her. Nijkamp going to try right side. Now hands off to Cadence Hansen, who tried to deliver a neat little pass underneath to Maya Orduno, but I don't know if Maya got the message.
And that was Hansen just being too unselfish there. She should have just almost finished with the left hand and scored the layup.
She's dominant. She could take over a game. This 5'5" senior, she was driving and then just tried to hand it off to Maya, who said, "What are you doing? You're the team superstar." Allison Burcham tries a tough layup. Well defended there by Cadence Hansen, and the miss. Here's Cadence wide open for 3. Good, and you cannot allow Hansen to have that kind of room. She's too good. She shoots a lot of threes for this team. Inbounds pass to Strickland. In trouble, picks up a triple team trap. And the ball out of bounds. They're going to say, ooh.
Really?
Well, yeah. Say off Jacks. Inbounds pass coming here for Teton. Just a minute into the second quarter. It's 11-3 T-Wolves. Bounce pass inside, and that's victimized Jackson a few times this season. Maya Orduno wide open on the inbounds pass underneath the hoop. Set play, Mac.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Just going up and then back down to the hoop for the wide open layup.
Yeah, Jackson's got to do better at covering that. They've been victimized by that very same play a few times this season. Lucy Webb comes out for a breather. Harley Rommel in the game for the Jackson Bronx. Harley has it now with Abigail Barksdale watching her. Over to over to Allison Burcham. Euro steps down the left side and just missed. Boy, a nice move. Just can't get the finish. Here's Nijkamp the other way for Teton, up and in. So many weapons on the T-Wolves. And this time it's Clara Nijkamp, the 5'2" senior, just walks right down Broadway and puts in the layup. 15-3 now, Teton. Trinity Green to Rommel, and pass just a little too high for Harley.
Well, Teton's now starting to click, and it's fueled by that full court pressure that they suddenly put on to start the second quarter. They didn't have any of that in the first quarter, and now they've scored almost as many points as they did already.
Yeah, I think Teton just under head coach Pat Hogan kind of eased into this game. They didn't play their 2 big heavyweights. Last meeting we didn't see Cadence Hansen at all, but we did see Abigail Barksdale. Neither of them started, so I think they were just kind of going easy into the game, seeing what some of the other players could do for the opening 8, and then when coach has put in his studs, they're starting to put the ball in the basket. 6:18 to go in the half, 15-3 Teton. And it's Teton basketball. Clara Nijkamp brings it up for the Timberwolves. Nijkamp gets a screen from Cadence Hansen. Going to drive baseline. Shot no good. Rebound, Burcham. Burcham was thought about running, but she got held right up there by Cadence Hansen. It slowed her travel. Nice left-hand bounce pass there from Trinity Green to Jax. Burcham with a long one, and that'll be off the mark, but I like Allison was ready to shoot, and she let it fly. Cadence Hansen, underhand pass to Abigail Barkdale. Turnaround jumper, good. That is a post-up move.
Yeah, that was very nice. Woo! Smooth butter shot. Really like to see that if you're Teton.
Yeah, Barkdale is a problem for any team. Here's Clara Nightcamp. Kick out to Hansen. She'll try a three. She was standing on the line, though. They were ready to give it to her, but it's off the mark, no good. Jack Strickland, her pass is knocked out of bounds, and she picked up the double team. Maya Orduno got a hand on that. Jack's a freshman, and it's funny how defenses know who's a freshman and who's a senior. And the freshmen get double team trapped a lot, don't they, Mac?
Yes, freshmen look nervous. They have a different, aura, you could almost say, compared to a senior who's been there before. And it's a huge difference, freshmen and seniors.
Holland to Rommel to Fowler. She'll drive baseline now, kick out, but she didn't have an idea where that ball was going. She wanted Strickland, but Nightcamp was right there. Now Nightcamp hands off to Reagan Moss, who missed the layup. Reagan's mad at herself. Rebound Jackson, Ari Fowler. Fowler bumps with Clara Nightcamp. She says, I'm going to go this way instead. Now pulls up her dribble to Rommel, and I think she shuffled feet. No, it's Nightcamp with a reach in. And the Jackson crowd likes that.
Sorry, I'm laughing because that was the Teton crowd watching TV. For some reason, they've been watching the TV this whole game.
Is it
Ohio
college
State,
football?
Notre Dame game?
It could be.
Well, shame on them. Well, at least they're at the game. But they didn't pay. They brought this big, huge TV. We got to get a shot of that. There's Ari Strickland for Jackson. 4:40 to go in the half. Her pass to Jack Strickland. Inside, and the shot missed by Zoe Green. Good try. Cadence Hansen, look at her just walk through three players and just got the ball. Nobody touched the ball, and I don't know how. Jack Strickland hands off to Ari Fowler. Fowler back to Jack. She's going to put the shot up, and I love that play, but the finish isn't there. But Mackett was right, huh?
Yes, it was.
Man.
Take that open shot if you're open, and I like the long, too, even if it's not as popular.
Gracie Kincaid with a left-hand layer, but that's no good. And here comes Mads Holland for Jackson. 4 minutes to go in the half. Mads to Fowler. She'll try a long three, top of the key. Oh, that's off left. And right there for the rebound is Cadence Hansen, the 5'5 senior. Oh, and her pass to Reagan Moss. What happened there? Miscommunication, out of bounds, and bumped the TV showing the college football.
Yeah, they're on right now.
It's perched precariously up on two chairs. I'm worried about that TV.
Again, they are here at the game.
Harley Rommel with it now. She's in a little trouble. Gets it out to Jack Strickland. Jack's over to Fowler. Now back to Mads Holland, who had a little trouble with the handle. Now Mads going to try a little pop shot. No good. And Hansen pulls down the rebound. Here comes Cadence. 3:20 to go in the half. 17-3 Teton. Long three there is good from Reagan Moss. And she is the other player on this team that will make it rain threes. Her and Hansen will shoot nothing but triples. And Moss has that one. Hansen comes down with a rebound and a timeout by Teton. We'll stay here as it's 20-3 T-Wolves with 3:03 to go. And, Mac.
Yeah, Teton showing why they are a dominant team so far. And even though they have scored 12 points in this quarter, while Jackson has yet to score this quarter. But here's a lot of good things that I am seeing from the Bronx is they are having strong low interior defense. I think Teton has missed 5 point-blank layups, and we've seen a lot of that from this Jackson defense throughout this season is they are not letting easy finishes happen right away. Compared to last year, you could say they're not allowing easy looks.
Yeah, and they've been doing that for years. I go back to Gracie Hardiman. This team has always contested shots in the paint. They don't let you have easy ones, not without at least a foul. I mean, they're going to make you earn it. And they've done that for years. Teton ball, they have a 17-point lead. Inbounds to Reagan Moss. She'll bring it up court. That's another cool thing about this T-Wolf team is They don't have one specific point guard. They have a lot of players who can dribble and have handles and
nice
bring it up
steal.
court. Steal by the Bronx. Lucy Webb with it now. Webb to Fowler. Watched by Reagan Moss. Good pass by Rommel. Up and in, Jack Strickland. And that play happened because Harley Rommel was thinking ahead.
Yes, Harley Rommel had that pass, and Jax was also ready, kept it up high, and scored easily.
Nice ball movement, and Rommel knew where she was going. As she just a touch pass inside to Strickland, who converts. 20 to 5 now. Oh, and Teton answers, and it's a 3, 23 to 5.
The issue is Jax just collapsed. All 5 of their players went to the middle where the ball was, leaving the corner open.
After we bragged about how good their D is down low, they all sucked down low. As that pass is thrown away there by Jackson, unforced error, and with 2:01 to go in the half, it's 23 to 5 Teton. They have the ball, and bringing it up court is Gracie Kincaid. Flips right here in front of us to Reagan Moss. She finds in the corner Caitlin Zog. Back to Moss. Cross court. Hanson to Kincaid. Boy, they are whipping it around. They do this really well. Good ball movement until they find someone wide open, and they will. Oh, what was that?
An offensive foul on, I don't know exactly who it was.
Oh, wow.
But if you're a coach and watching that ball movement for Teton, that is an ideal play as a coach. There was at least 8 to 10 passes that possession.
Everyone touched it, and that's kind of their deal. They've been doing that for years, talking about how each team operates. Rommel's off the mark, but Ari Fowler with a rebound. Turnaround jumper, no good. 2 misses for Teton. Pulling down the board was Adeline Hanson, and now it's Gracie Kincaid. In the corner to Cadence Hanson, inside to, I'm assuming, sister, who converts. Adeline Hanson, the 5'9" sophomore, puts it up and in.
And that's an impressive move, getting it over Jax.
Are you on? Sorry, I just realized you probably weren't even on. Sorry. Jake Nichols.
25 to 5 with 42 seconds now to go in the half. Teton with the ball. Bounce pass inside. Moss was looking for Hanson, but it never got there. The steal by Jack Strickland. Here comes Jackson. Harley Rommel lets it fly. Good! Harley with a long 3. And it's 25-8.
And I really like that. She missed the first time the possession before and doesn't care, shoots it again and lets it fly, and it goes home.
Came right back to it. You're right. Gracie Kincaid, far side. Cadence Hanson, bounce pass inside to Adeline. Now out to Reagan Moss. 3. That's her second 3 of the game by my count. And every time Jackson shows some life, Teton with an answer. It's 28-8 as we go to the half. Let's take a little quick break. Come right back here with a halftime show. You're enjoying Bronx basketball on the Jackson Hole Radio Sports.
The fastest internet in Jackson is coming your way. For a limited time, Silver Light Fiber Network is constructing fiber internet to homes in Jackson for free. Pick between 4 internet providers and swap at any time. See if you're in Silver Light's current area and check out which neighborhood is next at silverlight-fiber.com.
They say the best offense is a good defense. This theory applies on Wyoming's roads and highways just as much as it does on the basketball court. Always know road conditions before you head out. Visit wyoroad.info, download YDOT's 511 app, or call 511 for current conditions. Buckle up every trip, every time, and put away distractions, especially your phone, so you're better prepared for the unexpected. Finally, never drink and drive, not even a little, because buzz driving is drunk driving. This message brought to you by YDOT.
Halftime here at Driggs, Idaho. Teton Timberwolves with a pretty commanding lead over the Jackson Bronx at the half. What I like about what Jackson's doing, Mac, is we're getting contribution from a lot of players. So that's a positive for me because it's all about generating experience, and it has been for the last year or two when you got freshmen playing varsity minutes. I want a lot of playing time for everybody. I want everybody touching the ball and everybody, let's see what you can bring. Let's see what you can do. A lot of different players in that first half.
Oh, yes. We got Harley Rommel with a 3. I think Maggie Holland had an inside shot. So did Jack. So it's good to see scoring from the youth. I also wanted to point out something that we have not pointed out yet is Zoe Bosch is not even on the bench and not even at this game. So that, I think, has hurt Jackson, definitely, for sure. And now it's making you wonder. I think it has been an illness for the last 3 days, which is why maybe there may have been some limited minutes, which is unfortunate for Jackson. But that is a big deficit for Jackson, losing Zoe Bosch, at least for this game. And I do like the balance of scoring, yes, for sure. They're getting open shots. They're just not falling. But again, this has been consistent. Jackson's been scoring a lot of points in the paint, which they need to continue to do if they want to come back.
I mean, think about all the minutes that Jack Strickland is getting as a freshman. We've seen Strickland, Green, just the one so far, but we'll keep an eye if Zoe gets in. We've seen Fowler, Burcham, Webb, Holland, Ankeny, Rommel. They've all been in the game, and that's all important. I mean, these minutes, these touches, this experience on the court, going to be huge. I love the way Coach Bingham is just running right up and down the bench. But, yeah, his team misses Zoe Bosch for sure. The junior brings the poise, brings the handle. She's the one bringing the ball up court every time. It all generates off of her. Now, Jackson's done a good job of using Lucy Webb in that role, Ari Fowler a little bit. But, yeah, it's not the same Bronx team without Bosch. Could be an illness. Not sure. I reached out to Coach. She said it's just not something she could discuss, which could mean anything. Could mean Zoe hasn't been keeping up with her homework, although I don't want to throw her under the bus. Or usually it's an illness, and they're not going to discuss who's sick. But we know illness has been going around. But we want Zoe back. That's for sure. How about that Teton team? I just so impressed. I mean, Cadence Hansen, I know what I'm going to get from her, and it takes more to impress me with her play. But every time I see Abigail Barkdale in limited minutes today, but when I see her, holy cow, she's a baller. 5'8" senior, plays bigger than 5'8", and she's so smooth at the forward.
Oh, yeah, 13 points a game for a reason, leading the team in scoring. Obviously is a huge factor for why Teton's doing so well, but I also like the play from the Hansen sisters. Cadence is getting a lot of open looks from 3 and burying them and making Jackson pay.
Yeah, and she's the kind of aggressive dribbler. I don't know what you call it. She's just very confident dribbler. There's some that dribble and they're so careful, and there's some that are just so kind of right, left hand, crossover dribble, whatever it is, and they create for themselves because they're so hard to guard. You don't know what they're going to do, and she's one of those that just creates opportunities. I wouldn't want to guard her. What do you do if you're Coach Bingham and you got the Lady Bronx in the locker room? You want to keep their spirits up, keep their spirits high. Last weekend, kind of a missed opportunity against 2 Casper teams that were on your level, on your par. You could have got a W there somewhere, almost did. And now you got to go on the road against a team that we know is very good. How do you keep your spirits up, Mac?
I just think you keep looking ahead. Next possession, next play. You forget about the past, or forget about the past to a point where you can't let it affect your whole game, because then things are only going to get worse. Mindset is everything when it comes to the game of basketball. There's so much of a mentalness when it comes to the game. I would say arguably 60 to 70% of the game of basketball is your mental toughness. That goes down to free throws, goes down to open shots. Knowing just the basketball mind in your head and forgetting about the play before, it could win or lose games for you, because if you're in a bad mindset, then the shots are far less likely to go in, just because the mindset translate to the muscle memory of shooting and doing basketball skills and everything that revolves around the game of basketball. So I think mindset's everything, and to keep the morale up high is you got to forget this half ever happened and think of the game at 0-0 and try and win this half or win the quarter. Start small and then make the goal bigger.
You got to have the short memory of a relief pitcher that had a blown save last night.
Yes.
Gave up the game-winning home run. You got to be able to put that away. And, you said it more eloquently than I did early in the season when you weren't here. The first time we played Teton, I said, shooters will tell you what's the key to making shots. Are you squared up with your shoulders to the basket? Is it the wrist flick? Is it anything technical and fundamental? And almost always you hear the great shooters say, it's the confidence of knowing the ball's in before it leaves my hand. When it rolls off my fingers, I know it's bottom of the net. I'm turning around and backing up to play defense. I'm like, that's in. And that is the mental game that you're talking about. You got to have that. Your brain controls everything, and it tells your body what to do, and hopefully it's telling it to do good things.
Yeah, funny, Jake. I was going to say the exact same thing. Seeing the ball go in and
visualizing,
feeling like it's going to go in, just from the feeling of letting that shot go. Feel that it goes in, even if it doesn't, because there's so many shots that look like they're going to go in and they don't.
Yeah.
Feeling that it goes in.
And it's what we say when we saying so-and-so is feeling it right now, because you do feel it back. How many times have you let one go and you're like, you knew in your mind you weren't 100% committed to that shot. You were only 75% and you had a funny feeling when it went. You're like, I don't know. And then there's other shots where you're like, I know that's bottom of the net.
And then there's always that feeling when that shot feels so good and then it doesn't go in.
And you see it go off the iron. You're like, what?
Yeah, and I feel like that's been the case for some of these Broncs because they get good looks, get good shots. There was a lot of great shots in the first half that I thought was going to go in, and then somehow it just didn't. And sometimes that just happens in the game, and shots will just somehow not go in. It's one of those days.
Seems to happen to the Jackson girls too much, that's for sure. What do you got for stats, Kimmy K, starting with that Teton team?
Well, we'll tell you that both Cadence Hansen and Reagan Moss have 6 each.
And that's the triple. Boy, it adds up quick when you hit threes, yeah.
Next would be Barkdale.
Yeah.
With
Abigail.
4.
Yeah.
Kincaid has 5. Then we got Maya
Orduno.
Yep, 2.
Okay. 5'10" junior. Yeah, she.
Adeline Hansen 2. And Camp 2. Nykamp, sorry.
Yeah.
And Brown with 1. Brown,
okay.
Wait, 0. Yeah, Haley.
Boy, I look at, potential 10 players that can contribute. I look at a team that's 12-3 overall, and I wonder how they're 0-2 in conference. How good is this conference over here, Beck? I mean, this team we're seeing that right now, these T-Wolves, were blown out of the joint against Sugar Salem, 69-33. I don't even want to see Sugar if they can do that to this T-Wolves team.
Well, Sugar is a very athletic school. They are good in many, many sports. They're good in football. They're good in boys and girls basketball. And I've had a lot of cousins go to Sugar City. I have lots of family in Idaho. And I've just heard so many stories of how good they are. And that's why they play Star Valley. And Star Valley, I think, tries to play them to try and challenge themselves to make themselves better.
Battle of the bullies when those two get after it. Yeah, man, that must be a competitive conference over here to hear this team 12-3 overall, 0-2 in conference, and as good as they are, they have so many weapons outside, inside. They do so many things well. How the heck are they on a 2-game losing streak? Teton with it now as we start the third quarter. 28-8. The T-Wolves lead this one. Tell me I have the right camera on, I hope. Yes.
But I think you have it on the little TV thing. Looks like.
Oh. Good point. I felt like something was wrong. Good point, Mac. I was on the little TV. makes people strain their eyes to watch the game. We had a missed shot at one end. Jackson with the ball now. Trailing by 20. Webb inbounds to Fowler. She had a great look. It's good. Ari Fowler wasted no time with that. They left her open. You better not do that to number 0. Here's Teton with it now. Clara Nightcap running the floor. She's doubled up and in trouble, but was able to get it to Maya Orduno somehow. Long 3 there from Jimmy Williamson. No good. Rebound Jackson. Mads Holland. She's going to go 1-on-2. Now might wait for some help. And does. Lucy Webb. Kick out to Fowler. Open for a moment, but Barkdow got there quickly. Cross court. Webb to Maggie Holland. Maggie back to Trinity Green. She'll fire one with a left-hand shot. No good, but on the backdoor rebound is Webb. Ari Fowler lets it go, and that one won't find the net either. The rebound goes to Cadence Hansen, or Abigail Barkdow, rather. Teton with it now. 6.5 minutes left in the third. Top of the key, Clara Nightcap. In the corner right here in front of us to Jimmy Williamson. Williamson watched by Fowler, back to Nightcap. Clara, Fowler picks her up. Ari Fowler plays some pesky defense like AJ, her brother. That shot from Williamson, no good. Rebound, Mads Holland again. She's been cleaning up the glass a little bit here in the third. Lucy Webb, cross court. Fowler, she's open, but swings it to Holland. Maggie lets it go too strong. And the rebound, Haley Brown, the freshman. Good ball movement by the Bronx. There's the pass underneath, and getting lost was Jimmy Williamson. Nobody found her. Jimmy knew where she was.
Yes, and both teams, Teton and Jackson, I could tell just has a quicker pace than they did in the first half. They're trying to get buckets quickly.
True. There's some urgency, some intentionality to the Bronx play for sure. Here goes Fowler with another 3. Just misses. And the rebound pulled down by Teton. That was Maya Orduno, who the 5'10 junior went up big for that. That shot no good, but tracking down the rebound is Nightcap, Clara Nightcap. Baseline pass from Williamson or from Brown to Orduno. Her shot was blocked, but somebody got a
That would be
hand.
Trinity Green.
Trinity got a piece of Maya. She'll go to the line. The 5'10 junior. 50% free throw shooter, and limited stats I have on these Lady T-Wolves. That one's no good. 5:15 to go in the third. Lady Bronx hung in there for a little bit in the first, and then Teton starting to pull away here. Both missed by Orduno. Now the rebound is missed out of bounds off the hands of Haley Brown. Jackson ball. Green inbounds to Ari Fowler. Here's where you miss the Zoe. These trips up where Zoe's just such a good dribbler and watches the court as she dribbles. Here's Ari Fowler, the sophomore, to Green, but it's stolen away by Nightcap. Clara going to go coast to coast, but too strong in the layup. Good defense by Green to make it difficult. Nightcap now on the right block. She's double teamed. Kick out, wide open Nightcap. But picked up quickly, and a foul. Is that on Holland or Webb? They were both in the vicinity, and it's going to be Webb. I like Jackson is getting to the ball. Like somebody will be open, but not for long. They'll get right to the ball.
Yeah, they're trying to set the tone even with those 2 quick fouls.
Oh, inbounds pass, and we talked about those. That's Maya Orduno, who was loose in the paint right underneath the basket for the inbounds and the bucket. Trinity Green to Fowler, swings it to Webb. Baseline Holland, there she is. Maggie back out top to Fowler. Nightcap comes out quickly to pick her up. Now it's Webb. Back to Fowler. Fowler inside to the nail. Holland going to turn around. Jumper off the glass. High, strong, no good. Rebound, Abigail Barkdow, who gobbles up a ton of rebounds per game. 5.5, is second on the team to Nightcap. It's Nightcap with it now. Cross-court pass. It's Haley Brown. The freshman can't find anything. Nightcap going to make the drive there. Lays it up. No good. Clara's had about 3 of those that looked beautiful, but the ball didn't go in.
Yep, and that's something we see, unfortunately, a lot about Jackson. But check out Mads Holland. She's already got 3 rebounds in just this half. She's trying to run the floor, but it'll be interesting how Jackson responds to the substitutions that Teton made. A whole 5 platoon swap.
Clean 5. Jackson also brings in some new faces, including, well, I'll figure it out in a minute. As that shot missed, rebound is Greasy Kincaid for Teton. 3.5 to go in the third. They're up 22. Cross-court pass didn't get there. Matt Holland picks it off, tips it right to Trinity Green. Green to Holland to Ari Fowler. Fowler inside to Holland. She saw Trinity Green backdoor, puts it up and in. Trinity Green with a nice drive. Some really good ball movement again back.
Yes, it's like the Bronx, just like they drew it up, even though the ball was catched to Trinity Green, and it was great high finish.
32-12 now. Still a lopsided game, but the Bronx came out with a different attitude in the third.
Yes, and you could tell they've already got 4 points, which is an improvement over the first quarter, and they're actually starting to get some field goals dropping.
Caitlin Zog at the line, the 5'6" senior, 4 for 6 from the free throw line, so she's pretty good. She's got that one. Puts a lot of air under it. 33-12, more changes. Bronx, it's Maggie Holland and Trinity Green coming off. Burcham and Strickland on the floor for the black and orange. 33-12. Better update myself here. And the second from Zog won't get in there. And Ari Fowler up for the rebound. And she can do that. She's 5'9". Good rebounder. Lucy Webb going to try baseline. And no matter how many bodies in front of her, Lucy Webb will continue that baseline drive. She kicks it out to Fowler, who missed short, and Ari shook her head like, that's not the shot I wanted to get off. Reagan Moss works it into Adeline Hansen to Cadence. Boy, look at this ball. We can't even keep up with it, how fast they whip it around. But a loose ball inside. That's one place you got to be careful throwing it around, because we talked about how the Bronx will be really tough down low. Long shot there from Mads Holland, no good. Rebound, Cadence Hansen. Hansen comes up the court, surveys the floor, and works it far side to Reagan Moss. Moss to Hansen in the nail, back out to Cadence Hansen. Her pass intended for Reagan Moss, and that's off the mark, out of bounds. Maggie Holland right back in for Coach Bingham. She's seen a lot of time so far tonight.
Yeah, and I think she's trying to get that experience just because she is a sophomore underclassman and trying to get more varsity experience.
Lucy Webb with it now for Jackson. Ari Fowler. Fowler's got Burcham open. Burcham trying to make a move on Hansen baseline. Shut off there, so she kicks it back out to Holland. Now to Strickland, now to Webb. Webb will try the left side. That's not there either. Ari inside to Maggie. Kicks it back out. Now Fowler. Long three. Too short. Going to go out of bounds. Yes. I like Maggie Holland at that inside, that nail spot when you got your back to the basket, kind of like how Berazé plays. And Maggie can turn around and pop that shot if she wants. We've seen her do it.
Yes, and she's also good at kicking it out like she did there, and I like just the awareness that she has.
She does, and a lot of poise, because you got that ball in there and people are swiping at it. You're in traffic. There's a long three, no good from Hansen, I think. Who is that? No, that one's good. Up and in. Adeline Hansen. It was Reagan Moss who had that shot before. 35-12 now. Teton with the lead. Yeah, Maggie's. Well, we'll see if she does. She's got the ball now. There's Mads Holland. Now Lucy Webb. Webb bounce pass to Burcham. She'll try a three. And Allison is always ready to shoot. I do like that. And she did have a look for a minute. Here's Gracie Kincaid. Good. And she has that running mid-range layup up and in. 37-12. 35 seconds to go in the third. Long three. Ari Fowler. Nothing but net. And Fowler finding the stroke.
And it's good that she keeps shooting and keeps shooting and keeps shooting. Even though she may not have the best shooting night, it doesn't matter to her. She keeps shooting no matter what.
Cadence Hansen to Reagan Moss. Now to Gracie Kincaid to Cadence Hansen. Double team. She's hard to trap, but Lucy Webb going to give it a go, and I think Lucy got a whole lot of cadence there. We'll see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that her? I think that's her third.
I think it is her third. Yeah, cadence is slippery. She'd be a tough one to trap, the 5'5" senior. She's seen plenty of double and triple team traps, and Lucy said, I'm going to make this one even harder, and got too much of Cadence Hansen. Here's Reagan Moss. Good. Reagan never met a three she didn't like, and at the buzzer, Moss puts an exclamation point on the third period. After three, it's Teton 40, Jackson 15. We'll come right back with a final 8 after this. You're enjoying Bronx basketball on KZ95, the Jackson Hole Radio.
Jackson Lumber, the board store, Jackson's oldest business and only true lumber yard in town. Jackson Lumber's hardware people are the best in the business, and they do it right the first time. Jackson Lumber works with people who make a living building, so the tools they sell are definitely the best hand tools and power tools available, with names like Vest Tool, Milwaukee, Makita, Skillsaw, Senco, Fine, and DeWalt. Jackson Lumber, the board store at 130 South Grovemont. Call 733-6000, 733-6000.
Get back to the live action on KZ95. Here's Jake Nichols.
Just about ready to start the fourth quarter. Jackson trail 40-15.
A lot of new looks out there right now, actually, other than.
Yeah. Few new faces in for Jackson. Zoe Green, Harley Rommel, Ashlyn Chamberlain, Mads Holland, Kat Ankeny. As Coach Bingham continues to try to get some playing time for everybody, it all pays off in the end. It's Jackson ball. Strickland into Rommel. Harley brings it up, and double team trap headed forward, but she got rid of it quick. She saw it coming. Baseline drive from Zoe Green, no good, and the rebound into the hands of Abigail Barkdale. Barkdale flips it calmly over to Clara Niekamp. Niekamp to Jimmy Williamson. Backdoor intended for Hallie Brown. Missed connection. Here's Niekamp with the reset. Floats one into Barkdale. Abby goes strong to the rack, and Abigail Barkdale, I think anytime she wants it, it's there for her, that shot. My goodness.
Yeah, that was a thing of beauty. Kept it high. A nice hook shot right there.
Green to Ankeny. Kick out to Chamberlain. She'll let go a shot. That's no good. And the rebound by Abigail Barkdale up ahead to Niekamp. Clara's going to wait, slow things down. To Jimmy Williamson, back to Niekamp. Pointing where she wants her teammates to go. Her and Williamson play pitch and catch. Now it's inside to Barkdale. Caught herself in the air, but did get rid of it. And Maya Orduno finishes that series of passes. There was probably 5 or 6 there, Mac.
Yeah, Teton's just got a very flowy offense. They really know how to play with each other.
It reminds me of the Cody Phillies of a year or two ago, the ball movement, but Teton is, boy, they just whip it around. Here's Ashley Chamberlain, shot off the mark. Rebound, Hallie Brown. The freshman brings it up, working on Rommel. Now hands off to Niekamp. Clara slows it down. She's been a steady influence at the guard. Her and Gracie Kincaid have worked the floor really well for Teton tonight. Hallie Brown back to Niekamp. Clara drive the right-hand block, under scoop shot, no good. She had to get by 3 Lady Bronx. She did, but the shot was a desperation attempt.
Oh.
And here is Zoe Green. Zoe looks way taller than I remember her.
They're grown up.
I guess so. Clara Niekamp out to Barkdale. Barkdale with a crossover dribble that had Chamberlain breaking her ankles, leaving her sneakers, but a whistle and a timeout. I wanted to see what was going to happen there. But a timeout called by Teton. It's 44-15. And I'm going to take a let's at the risk of leaving the wrong camera on, I want to get a close-up of the Lady Broncs. I like to get a look at their faces, Matt.
Yes.
See, like, what is their general attitude? And it's usually pretty good. I mean, we see these girls get drubbed on some nights, and they still are listening to coach. They still look positive.
Well, every game's a learning experience, and they're just eager to learn how to make better basketball plays, and they are totally capable of making solid basketball plays, and they're going to continue to make better basketball plays as this game progresses. And I just, love the composure that this team has. They keep they keep their heads up, and it's all about that mindset. And if they have a good mindset, then the buckets are going to come.
I mean, I still see energy. 5.5 to go in the game. They're down 44-15. I see energy and positivity in that timeout, in that group huddle. There's Nightcamp, pass to Orduno, and now
Nice
Trinity
Trinity.
Green steals that one. And coming up court is Lucy Webb to Ari Fowler, quickly to Rommel. Baseline, wide open three, goal! Harley Rommel, 44-18. That was good ball movement. Fowler had a little bit of a shot, but she said, you know who's more open? Rommel. And she buried it. Here's Barktel, and she puts it in. Every time Jackson is cause for celebration, Teton has quieted it quickly. Webb to Rommel. She'll try another long three, just short. Orduno sky high for the rebound, kicks it over to Barktel. Abigail Barktel's in a hurry here, and she'll put up the pop shot. Good. And you see she's got a lot in the arsenal.
Yeah, I was about to say that looks like Alex English, who played back in the 80s, mid-range specialist.
Yeah, she looked like she was going to challenge Webb, and then just backed up, let it go. Ari Fowler, meanwhile, hits for a long three. And it's 48-21. Suddenly, somebody's tore the lid off this one. Orduno out to Williamson. Her shot good, and nobody's missing now.
Yeah, let's see if Jackson responds to Teton, as Jackson now is starting to get that offense that they so desperately want.
Yeah, this thing's fallen into a rhythm. It's kind of fun to watch. Harley Rommel with it. In trouble, finds Ari Fowler. Wide open Webb. She drives that back line, and Clara Nijkamp came over to make contact.
I don't think Lucy even cared if she made that shot right there. She was just pulling that foul.
Well, I thought she was going to take the shot, that short little 8-footer, but she's like, no, I can get closer. It was open. I mean, the lane, she just headed right for the basket like you're supposed to, but Clara came over in a hurry and got some of Lucy. She missed that layup, and now Teton again going to make the wholesale changes. When Coach Hogan does it, he does it 5 at a time, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He really wants to get everyone in the game sharing the sugar.
And they're all good. I mean, I can't see a player on that team who was, I want to kind of hide her in case we're way up or way down. Like, they're all good. And that one converted. It's 51-22. Guess I was off one somewhere. That shot no good from Reagan Moss, but the putback there is in. Cadence Hansen delivers, and it's 53-22. Jackson with the ball. Harley Rommel lets it go.
Yes.
Holy cow, Harley. Rommel's good for another three, and she's giving the Broncs a spark off the bench for sure.
Well, I love the catch-and-shoot play style, just so ready to shoot it.
Cadence Hansen inside to Abigail Hansen, who kicked it back out. Now stolen away. Mads Holland with it now. She's got Trinity Green on that cut, but pass was just a little off. Mads didn't see her till too late, and then the pass just a little out front of Trinity. 2:10 to go in regulation. It's Reagan Moss. Cross-court heave to Cadence Hansen. Inside to Sister Hansen, no good, as Adeline was too strong. And the rebound, Harley Rommel gives it to Trinity Green, and now Rommel's going to bring it up court. Harley doing it all right now for the Broncs. Ari with a nice look inside to Green. Kick back out, and Ari's got a wide open three, but she's off there. And Ari runs hot and cold. That one not there as Cadence Hansen goes cross-court backdoor pass. Intended for Gracie Kincaid, and she just popped it right up but missed.
Nice rebound.
Trinity Green to Mads Holland. Mads Holland driving with intent. Up and in.
And that's a great, strong take, taking advantage of the open lane and going up strong.
That's that's knowing where the end result there. Mads had that in her head, how that was going to end, and she made it happen. Another cross-court heave by Teton. I tell you, they find the open player no matter where she is. That pass inside, stolen away by Ari Fowler. Ill-advised pass to Webb, but somehow she pulls it down between two players. Ari, I would have not have made that pass, but Lucy made it work and draws the foul. Wow.
Well, that's a theme I've noticed from this Bronx team is they are very good at catching tough passes. I've seen that time and time again, and time happened right there.
It's winning the 50-50 balls as Lucy converts there on a running clock. 35 seconds and counting, 53-28, Teton lead. And Lucy looks for the second here. Yeah, she got that. Teton ball, taking a peek at the clock, is Reagan Moss. Hanson back to Moss. Teton might just put it in their pocket here. We'll see. Cross court, Cadence Hanson. She's not going to shoot, I don't think. Nobody is. Around the horn to Gracie Kincaid. Inside, kick out. Oh, no, we'll get one fired. Good, and that's Caitlin Zog. And that's the way to end it with a little bit of noise from Zog. A three is good to make it 56-29. That's the final. We'll come back and wrap it up, get the stats to you, and pick our players of the game right after these. You're enjoying Bronx basketball on the Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network.
One good play can improve a team's chance of winning the game. And when executed properly over and over again, that play can take a team far. One good decision when you get behind the wheel can do the same. Approximately half of the people who lose their lives on Wyoming roads each year were not wearing a seatbelt. Stay in the game, Wyoming. Buckle.
Cashmere, silk, down, or denim, Blue Spruce Cleaners is where you take them. We have a friendly, knowledgeable staff eager and happy to serve you in 2 locations and on the road with daily pickup and delivery service and expert tailoring on site. We offer the best in green, effective, and gentle cleaning with Green Earth Cleaning and professional laundry for your sweaters, gowns, comforters, and linens. Blue Spruce Cleaners is a recognized reduce, reuse, recycle business leader, providing green, affordable, and friendly service to our community for over 20 years. Whatever the season, whatever the reason, Blue Spruce Cleaners.
Well, rats. This kind of went the same way the other one went. Final score 56-29, very similar to the last time these two teams met a month ago in Jackson. And yeah, we knew Jackson Lady Bronx would have their work cut out from this T-Wolves team is very good, but Jackson did some fun things. That fourth period was fun, Mac.
Yeah, it was. I think they had 14 of their 29 in that final period. So got the offense flowing, just got to keep doing it all 4 quarters, piecing it together, and they're doing a good job of piecing it together and being patient. That first win is still yet to come, but it is going to come if they put more performances like that fourth quarter into play.
Yeah, I mean, you got to watch this team to understand how much better they are than last year and the year before. It shows, you can look at the stats and you can look at the output, the offensive output, and kind of get an idea. Yeah, they're better. But you watch them play, and you'll be convinced this is a better team every night you see them, and that's all you can ask of a young team, just that consistent improvement. Who do you like for player of the game on the Teton girls side? Kimmy K does not have stats for us because she's kind of squeezed into her spot here.
Yeah, I'm really stuck. I can't run down and get it. My person forgot. Ooh. That's a tough one. Why'd you go with me first?
Come on, knee jerk. Just first player to come into your head.
Obviously, Cadence Hanson comes to mind, but I felt like you said Maya's name a little bit more.
Yeah,
and
Maya
Jimmy Williamson.
Maya
so
Durnew had a good game. Yeah, I don't think Cadence had a Cadence kind of game. Maybe. Sometimes I'm fooled by how much, and the bar I set for Caden Hanson is, way up
I know.
there.
You mentioned Haley Brown's
Abigail
name.
Barthel
no one's
was
sticking out
quiet
for
Abby. I like the way the backcourt worked here. I love Gracie Kincaid's game. She just ran the floor, but Clara Nijkamp, to me, just jumped out in every way. Nijkamp was fierce. She wanted the ball, and she had a great game, in my opinion. Mac, who do you like on that T-Wolves team?
I like the whole team. The whole team played really well.
They
Right?
spread the love.
That's why they're 12-3 or now 13-3 is because they have so many people that contribute 5-6 points a game. You don't need to be the star. You don't need to score 20 points to be a good team. You have balanced scoring, and everyone does their role and does their job really well. I did like Cadence Hansen's game, even though she may have not had her average game. I still think the Hansen sisters did collectively the best job out of anyone on Teton.
Yeah, there's not a wrong choice on that team, and that's frightening if you're playing them and the way they pass. Yeah, they're all, pick a number. They're all good. I agree. What about our girls? Also hard to zero in on any one. I thought all of them, in their way, contributed and had good games. Mac, you start your player of the game for the Lady Browns.
I think the player of the game has got to be Harley Rommel.
That's one of my thoughts.
Because
that's what I was going to say.
I got a second one.
She went 2 for 4, I think, from three-point range. She hit a couple. She was just, I am biased because it is my play style, the catch and shoot three.
Yeah.
Those set shots I love.
She played she wouldn't, she was bringing the ball down. She played it in some different areas too. So
Yes, exactly. Making plays, making good plays, looking for teammates, looking for openness, and converting on good shots that Jackson needed in that fourth quarter.
Woo, well, the 5'6" junior makes it a clean sweep. We all like 53.
Yeah.
All right. Once again, the final score for the girls' game. Boys are ready to tap here in about 10 minutes. 56-29. Teton beats Jackson to complete the Battle of the Teton sweep here in 2024-25. We'll be right back and reset for the boys and cue up that game for you next, right after these. You're enjoying Bronx basketball on KZ95, the Jackson Hole Radio.
Experience Jackson Hole like a local while staying at the Antler Inn, Elk Country Inn, Cowboy Village Resort, or 49er Inn and Suites. With the best entertainment, dining, shopping, bars, and brews all in walking distance, you'll never want to leave. Call 1-800-4-TETONS or find them on the web at townsquareinns.com.
The fastest internet in Jackson is coming your way. For a limited time, Silver Light Fiber Network is constructing fiber internet to homes in Jackson for free. Pick between 4 internet providers and swap at any time. See if you're in Silver Light's current area and check out which neighborhood is next at silverlight-fiber.com.
Well, that's been a common theme for Teton. Personally playing against them, they've always been a very athletic team, whether it's the Roosevelt brothers and the whole family of the Roosevelts, or Ty Brown, who's now, I'm pretty sure, Bradley Brown's brother. They're a taller team, but they're both athletic. Ty Brown dunked in freshman games playing against him back when I was a freshman. But yes, very athletic program. They prioritize basketball, they prioritize football, definitely over here in Driggs. And so they definitely use that athleticism to build and make a very, very good basketball team. They're the top of 3A, which is now 4A for Idaho. Usually every year, the top three, whether it's them or Sugar Salem. So Teton is always a tough team to beat. So I think it's impressive that Jackson took them to overtime back in December, and I think we expect to see another close game. It's a close rivalry. There's always a close game, especially in the last 2-3 years. There's been a lot of close contests between these two teams.
And there's some kind of nepotism or sibling juice that they have over here in Teton Valley. The Roosevelts are finally gone, and look who steps in, the Nelsons. Luke Nelson is going off lately. I mean, there's nothing this guy doesn't do, from steals to assists to three-ball shooting. Luke Nelson is playing out of his mind right now, and Burke Nelson pretty darn good as well. And then when it's Teton, you're always going to see a Coons and a Strike. And we still got Jack Strike, Ken and Coons. This team's still loaded with talent. They're trouble. And Jackson did a great job at home playing every bit of the way with these guys. They just got to find a way to get that win, Mac. And when it gets down to crunch time, fourth quarter, you can't fade from the spotlight. You got to seize it. What is that? How do you go get it and grab it?
I think it starts with rebounding. Most of the time, 85% of the time, I've said, if you win the rebounding battle, you win the basketball game. Jackson struggled mightily just from watching tape against Teton. When it comes to the defensive and offensive glass, Teton really crashes, and they always have and always will, because they're a very good rebounding team historically, so they're going to crash hard. Jackson's got to get box outs, and Jackson's got to get a lot of rebounds from Jack Bearsay, Will Geitman, Palmer Wetzel. Jackson's capable of rebounding. They're a good rebounding team as well. They just got to get box outs, and box outs is everything when it comes to rebounds.
And it's a real sign that you're playing hard for your coach. Your defense and your rebounding. That tells me there's buy-in. When I see a team rebound hard, there's no reason you can't rebound. There's reasons why you may not want to, or you can't for the whole game. It's like defense. Coaches want to see you rebound because it's an indication you're playing hard for them and for the program. Yeah, that Jackson, it was one of my keys to the game last time these two teams met. You got to beat the T-Wolves on the glass. They did not. They were out-rebounded badly. First thing the coach said in the postgame, I talked to Coach Ellie. He's like, we got beat on the glass. We got beat rebounded, and we said we couldn't do that, and we did. So, yeah, they got to be better. They got to make sure it's one and done for every Teton trip, and try to give yourself some second chances on the offensive glass. Rebounding going to be crucial. You heard it from Mac Fairbairn, who's always right. Most of the time.
I would say he's right more times than I am.
That's impossible.
And we already have that. So that, Mac, you might be a 99.9% right person, because nobody's always right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Let's take a look at keys to the game for this one. I have what is the offense, question mark. Mac, we've seen Coach Elliott kind of roll with whatever works. And when he's playing a team that's got length, he may sit the Larson twins. When he wants to go fast, he may go small. I wonder what kind of team is the Bronx, and do you need to know, or is it okay to kind of be fluid with?
It's okay to be kind of fluid. You may not know the answer from the start of the game, but once you figure out the answer as the game is happening, that is very critical to being successful. If you know that Aaron or Jesse's going to have a good game, you leave them in, you know they're going to shoot the lights out, and I expect to see that from at least one, if not both of them. I think they're going to have a very solid outing today. Even though they didn't play as much against Kelly Walsh and Natrona, I expect them to see a vengeance arc game from one of the twins at least.
My other keys to the game is create with the ball. By create, I mean be aggressive. We saw the girls do it with Lucy Webb, Allison Burcham attacking the rim. Too many times I've seen the half-court offense for the boys just kind of get a little stagnant. And the idea is, I'm going to get the ball and pass the ball. I'm going to get the ball. I want to see somebody like Seth Brunner Day say, I'm going to an attack right here, draw a foul, draw some guys to me, look for a kick out. I'm going to create something. I want to see more people try to create something. Who is that going to be on offense?
That could be Palmer Wetzel. Or Jack. We saw a little bit of it from Jack, who had 9 first-half points. But I think Palmer Wetzel is the first person that comes to mind when you think of someone trying to take over a game. Palmer had 25 points against Natrona. Very impressive outing. And, Palmer is a really well-rounded scorer. He could shoot threes. He can make shots inside. So Jackson's going to have to rely a lot on Palmer and Jack to get low inside shots because those are high percentage. And if the three-point shot isn't working, attack the rim with Palmer and Jack or Will.
I'll be interested to see how Jackson goes about defense, whether they man up, whether Wetzel draws an assignment on Luke Nelson, but you have got to neutralize Nelson, number 1 for Teton. Whose job is that going to be? Let's have the boys introduce themselves, and we'll tap this one next.
Jesse Larson, senior. Will Kim, senior. Matt Baltus, senior. Jake Simmons, freshman. Aaron Larson, senior. Owen Brecker, junior. Thomas King, sophomore. Noah McKinney, junior. Jack Berzay, senior. Ethan Hoffman, sophomore. Max Wyatt, sophomore. Palmer Wetzel, senior. Will Gutman, junior. Colin Pape, senior.
This one started in a moment. Live from Driggs, Idaho. It's the Teton Timberwolves and the Jackson Bronx. The second of a home-and-home matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, Teton High School would like to welcome you to this basketball game between the Jackson Hall Bronx and your Teton Timberwolves. Please remember the sportsmanship is a top priority of our schools, the Idaho High School Activities Association. Please give the participating athletes your positive encouragement and support. Now, we've already done the national anthem if you missed the earlier game. So now we're going to introduce the starting lineup. First, from the Jackson Hole Bronx. Number 11. Aaron Larson.
And here we go. We got Aaron Larson averaging 11 points per game, leading the Bronx in scoring, known for his three-point shooting. Here we go. Will Geitman, hard worker, always in the gym, gets gritty rebounds, uses his length. Now we got Jack Berzay leading the team in rebounds with 9 rebounds a game. And then we got Palmer Wetzel, who's second in scoring option for Jackson. And then we got Noah McKinney, gets three-point shots up and is really good with his quick, gritty hands.
Quick hands, yes. And the lineup for the hometown team, the Teton Timberwolves.
Number 2,
Isaac Thomas, the 6'1" senior, gets the start. Number 6'3" senior Jack Strite, averaging 8.5 points a game. Luke Nelson, the 6'1" junior, leading scorer on the team. And the guy you've got to stop, Bradley Brown, their top shot blocker and assist man, the 6'4" junior. And finally, Burke Nelson, the 6'4" senior, averaging a little bit over 7 points a game. He also is their leading rebounder, but we told you they all rebound. Strite, Bradley Brown, Isaac Thomas, Kenyon Coons, they all pull down boards. Very athletic team, not terribly fast. I'll say that. They don't score a lot in transition as far as steals and fast breaks. They're not terribly fast. They don't choose really to play a fast game, so maybe Jackson can get quick with them. We'll see. As it's Geitman will face off against Bradley Brown, 6'4" on, what's Geitman, 6'4" as well?
Yes.
In that neighborhood, anyway. Rarefied air. They both know when it's snowing before any of us do. They'll tap it. It's Jackson wearing their road darks, moving left to right. Teton on their home whites. Geitman wins the tap to McKinney, pulls it down to Wetzel, who hands off to Aaron Larson. Jackson will start with a basketball here. The clock's frozen at 8. Clock guy's got to get it started. Yeah,
I'm waiting for everybody to yell.
Wetzel goes good. Wetzel with a 3 to start this one. That's the way you get her going. And we got a free 10 seconds there. We'll take it if we keep scoring like that.
Yeah, and that's a great sight to see if you're Jackson. Palmer hitting early.
Luke Nelson, Isaac Thomas. Thomas gets it back to Luke. Luke drives, stops, now pops it up. Boy, that kid, he is tricky.
Yeah, that was a brilliant move, using the pump fake and getting the open look.
3-2 now in the early going. Palmer Wetzel hot off the 3, going to drive the lane by himself. That was a beautiful move, and he couldn't get it. But Will Geitman is there to clean it up.
Yeah, using that length and keeping it high and scoring.
Luke Nelson from 3. Good! And I tell you, this guy is insanely hot. He just carries it over game to game. You've got to get on Luke Nelson, even out at the perimeter. Aaron Larson to Wetzel inside of Barazay. Barazay's got a little bit of room there. He's going to take it. And he can't get the shot as he was on Burke Nelson. And Will Geitman for the second straight trip is there for the board and the bucket. Jake Strite with it now to Isaac Thomas, the senior. Walks it calmly to the top of the circle. Now to Luke Nelson. He's done all the damage for Teton so far. Inside that tough little 14-footer. That's no gimme. And Jake Strite can't make it.
Yep, and Jack's usually the person contesting it, and he does a great job at it every time.
Geitman just out-muscling Burke Nelson for that bucket. And you say you can find Wilson. You can find Will in the weight room. He showed it there.
Yeah, Will definitely is a lot stronger than he was when he was a younger freshman, now showing.
Nelson puts Palmer Wetzel in the air, but then misses the 3, and Geitman has the rebound. Will Geitman played a game right now. First 2 minutes have been all Will and Palmer Wetzel's 3. It's fun to watch those two. Here's Aaron Larson with it. Poking at it is Isaac Thomas, but he can't get it loose. And he tries again, but Aaron recovers. Wetzel now with Luke Nelson on him. Wetzel thought he was going to try McKinney. Now he's going to try to get between two guys. There was no room there. Bradley Brown and Luke Nelson had him sandwiched. So the referee's going to try to decide whether it's a block or a charge. And they may decide neither. Block, charge, or none of the above, perhaps. Oh, no.
Oh, it was a foul. It appeared to me a jump ball. Good hands by Teton.
They got the reach in, and it's going to be on Canyon Coons, his first, team first. Bradley Brown comes out of the game and did not see who came in. Pass floated in to Wetzel, gives to Barazay. Barazay working on Burke Nelson. Kick out to Larson, out to Wetzel. Palmer Wetzel drives baseline, gets right by. Wow, reverse layup.
Whoa.
Oh, my.
And that's a go-to move for Palmer Wetzel. He is so good at the reverse layup.
Wetzel just blew right by Jake Strite, traveled the baseline. No other T-Wolf picked him up, and the reverse layup was gold. Isaac Thomas now trying to get away from Larson. Cross court to Coons. Into Strite. Kick out quickly to Burke. Now it's going to be Canyon Coons who hits. And Coons make it 11-7. That was a 2. 5 minutes to go now. Jackson up 4. Isaac Larson bounce pass into Wetzel. Now near side to Will Geitman. Kick out to Larson. Long 3. Short. Rebound is Luke Nelson for Teton. Home run ball to Isaac Thomas. Cross court, and it went right to Wetzel. He wanted Canyon Coons, but that was well short. And Palmer says, I'll take that. Inside of Berzay. Berzay pivots again. Now kick out to Larson. Quickly to Will Geitman. He'll drive paint and the kick out to Berzay. And now they'll reset. Wetzel back out top with Jake Stride on him. Berzay loose for a moment. McKinney open for the three. Good ball movement there, Matt.
And yes, Jackson, if they're going to win this game, they got to shoot well, and they're doing a great job of shooting so far.
They're hot now. Strike gets it into Isaac Thomas, and it's worked loose. It's Noah McKinney with those hands. He squirted it loose from Isaac Thomas. Now Thomas trying to return the favor to Wetzel, who gets it to Larson here. 3:45 to go, 14-7, a ball off the foot. It'll remain Jackson possession as Isaac Thomas takes a break for Teton. Will Geitman will inbounds in front of the T-Wolf bench. Bounce pass to Larson. Aaron Larson gives it to Wetzel. Nice pass to a cutting Berzay. Berzay attracts a triple team. Kick out to Noah McKinney, who hits again.
And this is exactly what he did against Teton last time back in December. Hit a couple threes early.
Jackson up 10, and it's because the shots are falling. Here's Luke Nelson. Kick out to Bradley Brown for three. Brad Brown, the 6'4 junior, averaging 9.2 points a game. And he hits from three there to make it 17-10.
And that's a challenge to guard when the tallest player is the one hitting the corner three.
I can imagine. Berzay. Noah McKinney got loose on the baseline. And they're going to say he got loose because he was running with the ball. Good idea, though. McKinney's found a lot of space back there, and a good job to identify him. Who made that pass? Was that Berzay who found McKinney back there?
It might have. I already forgot.
Jackson up 7. Teton ball on the turnover with a travel. It's Jake Strite. Back to Bradley Brown inside of Burke Nelson. Now out high to Canyon Coons. Coons to Brown. Back to Coons. He'll drive in the paint. Attracts a lot of traffic. Kick out to Strite, and he's good. Jake Strite averages nearly 9 a game. The 6'3 senior pours that one in to pull Teton within 4. Palmer Wetzel. So as hot as Jackson started, Teton dropping shots as well. Wow.
Well, Teton's a team of resiliency, as Jackson had a 10-point lead back in December as well.
Jake Strite with the steal, the layup, left-handed layup, and the foul. A chance for 3 here. And the momentum shifting quickly. Jackson was making it rain for a bit. Teton found the range then. And we get Ethan Hoffman in the game for Noah McKinney. The foul, meanwhile, was on Palmer Wetzel, and that one won't go. So 17-15. Jackson still up by a bucket. Wetzel with it now. Berzay sets a pick. All that does is double team Wetzel, but that means Jack Berzay is open. And you have to do it that way.
Yes, that's a very smart play. Palmer with a wraparound pass, and Jack going up strong.
Beautiful baseline. Burke Nelson kick out. It's got Brad Brown under the basket, up and in. That's a tough shot.
Yeah, that's exactly what Palmer does, and Palmer got a little bit taste of his own medicine there.
Nice play by Bradley Brown. Walking the baseline and putting that in. He was directly underneath the basket. There's Berzay. Out to Larson. This is Jesse now to Palmer Wetzel. Wetzel working on Canyon Coons. Tries the right block. Lost the handle. I think that's off of Palmer, but they're going to help him out. I thought Palmer just lost it. He had about 3 T-Wolves swiping at it. Wetzel will inbounds. Floats one, and nobody was going for the floater. Will said, I better get there. Will hands off to Larson. Jesse going to drive the lane. Puts it up and almost. And Jesse's so good at that in the land of trees, just laying it up high.
Oh, yes. The Larsons are the master of the floaters.
Almost had it, too.
There was like a lid on that bucket.
Yeah, there wasn't a minute ago. Oh, what a move. This kid's shifty. That's Luke Nelson, but he can't get the shot to go. Rebound Wetzel. Everybody making everything. Now nobody making nothing. Excuse the double negative. 45 seconds to go in the first. High-scoring quarter. 19-17. Teton trail. It's Jackson Lee. Right? Or am I backwards?
We lead.
Okay.
That would be as in Jackson.
Oh, then I might have it backwards on my... Okay. Man, I got to get it together here. I was making early season excuses, but we're into mid-January now. I got to pick it up, man. I can't be getting to February and still saying, well, it's early.
You have been working nonstop since last night.
Will Geitman inbounds pass to Wetzel. The two trees pass to one another. Here's Barazay posting up. Double team. Kick out to Larson. He was open for a minute. Barazay got a wide open Wetzel on the back door. There it is. 3. Good! And I think the whole crowd was saying, Palmer Wetzel's open.
Well, there was a shot clock violation. It was way after the shot clock went off, and they still counted the 3.
Oh, is that right? I see. I haven't paid attention to that.
Is that a little bit, though, since we don't have a shot clock in Wyoming yet? How does that happen?
Partially, the officials just weren't looking at the shot clock.
Well,
yeah, so I thought the crowd was yelling that Palmer Wetzel was open.
They were yelling like, hurry up, the shot clock's counting down.
1 second buzzer beater, no good. And the quarter ends with a high-scoring affair. If you like offense, plenty of it. Jackson 22, Teton 17. We'll be back with the second quarter after these. It's Jackson Hole High School basketball on the Jackson Hole Radio Sports.
Experience Jackson Hole like a local. Recently renovated, the 49er boasts a new lobby, extended continental breakfast, indoor swimming pool, fitness facility, and 12-person outdoor hot tub. Located on Pearl Street, the 49er is just 3 short blocks from Jackson's greatest bars and restaurants, where you'll find your home away from home. Enjoy your time in Jackson as part of the Town Square Inns, and stay at the 49er Inn and Suites.
Sports is KZ95. Let's get back to the game.
Well, that's one of the higher scoring quarters of the season, maybe the highest. We had 39 total points, man.
Yeah, that's Jackson's best offensive output in a quarter so far this season. They're on pace for 88 points. I don't think it will extend to that, but I think this game could easily go in the 60s or 70s at the rate we're going.
They are putting it up, and they are falling for the most part. It's been fun to watch. Good basketball game, and very, very similar to what we saw in December. Jackson early was all over Teton, and then Teton made a run, and it was close all the way. Obviously, it went extra back in December. It'll be Teton ball. They trail 5 as we get underway here in the second quarter. Isaac Thomas to Luke Nelson. Nelson back into Thomas in the paint. Kick out to, oh boy. Nelson's good at that move, that shake and bake, but if you learn that he's going to do that, and there's the 3, but a whistle, he's wearing that move out, and I think one of these times somebody will figure it out.
Yeah, Jackson's just a little excited because they're
over-committing on defense, yeah. If you just let him have that one shake and then pick him up when he bakes, then you'll neutralize his shake and bake, if you know what I mean. That pass is picked off. Good defense in the paint. A lot of hands in the way there. And one of those hands hit the ball. Palmer Wetzel with it now for Jackson on the turnover. They could open this one up to 7 with a bucket here. Barazay spin move in the lane. Still can't get anything loose. Larson to Wetzel. Sorry, that's Ethan Hoffman in now. Geitman with a 3, but it's no good. Jack Strite with a rebound for Teton. Up ahead to Isaac Thomas. Now to Strite, now top of the key. Luke Nelson. Nelson to a wide open Coons. He'll try 3. Too short. And right there on the rebound is Jack Strite, and he got fouled with a putback and made the bucket as well. Well, 22-19.
It goes to show Jackson's got to get a little bit better of a job boxing out. That's a tough one to take if you're Jackson.
Well, when you don't draw iron, it's really tough. It makes the rebound twice. You're expecting the ball to come off of something, and Strite was just right there, backdoor rebound, just like Van Baltus did the other night. He was waiting for the long one. The 6'3" senior put this up, 58% free throw shooter, and he's got it to make it a 22-20 game, getting a little closer. Boy, just a second ago, Jackson could have went up 7. Now they're only up 2, and Wetzel misses that 3. The rebound from Isaac Thomas. Up ahead quickly to Nelson. Burke to Thomas to Strite. In the corner to Bradley Brown, and he's got the 3.
And that was a really good play. Teton playing as a team, looking for that extra pass and swing for the open 3.
Now Brown loves that baseline 3. That's the second time he's struck from the corner. Both corners now as Wetzel gets it to Larson. Jesse works it to the top of the key here near side. Wetzel wanted to get inside of McKinney, but it wasn't open. Now a spin move in the lane. A lot of hands, contact. And they're going to say Teton ball. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, spin. Teton ball. Wetzel even thought it was still his ball. Coach Elliott didn't like it. He's working the other ref here.
Whoa.
Wetzel with a spin move got double teamed, and a lot of hands were on him, I thought. But they'll give the ball to Jackson. They're going to say it was off one of the T-Wolves. Wetzel will inbound. 6:03 to go in the half. Jackson up 1 now. Noah McKinney. I keep putting the score in the wrong place, and I think I know why now. We're visitors in this game, so I really should switch.
Sure.
Now I'll just confuse myself for the rest of this game.
Oh, you're going to be looking on the wrong side.
We'll see. 23-22. Oh, it is Teton lead, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Teton leads by 1, 23-22.
Got it.
Maybe yeah, you have written Teton up there in Jackson. Can't you see?
Yeah, I should just learn to read. It'd make things a lot easier. Here's Jesse Larson bringing it up floor for the Bronx. I'm going to switch my pages back. I like the way I had it. What happened, Mac?
Well, it was a turnover. Palmer the ball went off of Palmer's outstretched hand, and Teton now in transition, looking for that corner 3, but it's no good. And here's Jack Bearsay with the rebound.
Stolen away by Bridger Hawkins in the game now for Teton. Stolen back by Jackson. Here's Ryder Chapman to McKinney to Wetzel to Aaron Larson. Bounce pass inside of Bearsay and up and in. That's the second time that he's worked Burke Nelson, and Bearsay just wanted it more.
And he went with his offhand, his right-hand hook, something you don't see as much from Jack.
Yeah, good point, good observation. There's a miss and a rebound. McKinney cross court to Larson. Aaron whips it to McKinney. Back to Larson. Larson watched by Luke Nelson. Now the handoff to Chapman. Back to Larson into Bearsay. Bearsay got Burke Nelson on him. There's a 3 from Jesse, or rather Aaron won't go. Rolled around and popped out. Rebound, Burke Nelson brings it up for Teton. Hands off to Strite. Jake in front of the college football TV now. Top of the key. Luke Nelson, Strite. Far corner, Bridger Hawkins in the game. Top of the key again now to Luke Nelson. Nelson been quiet since a hot start. Corner 3, Burke Nelson well short, and McKinney on the rebound. Wetzel brings it up, 3:45. We've had fits and starts of scoring and then not scoring.
Well, I like how the game slowed down and each team getting grittier and grittier.
Nelson poking at it, trying to get it away from Larson, can't do it. Wetzel, there's a reach in there on Hawkins, I believe. We'll wait for the call, but I thought Bridger reached around and got a hand in. He did, his first. 3-3-3, that's the time. 3:33 to go. Jackson up 24-23. Palmer Wetzel gets a brief break. He doesn't get many of those usually. Will Geitman looking to inbounds here. Can't find anybody. Now Bearsay helps him. How many times has Jack Bearsay come to the rescue with a 5-second count? Yep. Jack in the lane. A lot of trouble there. Yeah, Jack is usually really good pivoting. That time he picked up the pivot foot. Got caught traveling. Teton with a basket now, a chance to take the lead for the home team. Isaac Thomas to Strike. Strike kind of careless with that pass. You got to watch it when 21's anywhere in the vicinity. No, it's so quick. Inbounds to Nelson. Top of the key, Strike. Strike back to Nelson. Loop looks around, now wants the corner with Kenyon Coons. He tries a little pop shot, 12-footer, way off the mark. But the backdoor rebound goes right to Isaac Thomas.
Ooh.
Now a back pass. This is going to be a back violation, and Luke knew it. And, yeah, last couple of trips, rebounding. All of a sudden, we forgot all about rebounding, Matt, because there's been so much scoring. But
yes,
Jackson's got to keep up with that rebounding game. That's where they could lose this.
Yes, and they also got to keep strong defense, which they've been doing, and both teams are starting to get sloppy with turnovers.
Oh, they are. Noah McKinney just gave it up there. Here's Teton, spin move, Coons, and he got contacted by Larson. And I think Jesse is... No, it's Aaron who's going to get rung up there. Was it on him? No, they call it on Barazay.
He's on Jack, who's on the ball, and it looked like all ball to me. There's been a lot of tough calls this game so far.
Yeah. First shot converted, so we're tied at 24 with 2:47 to go in a half. Been a high-scoring first quarter. Second is good, so Kenyon Coons converts both. A 52% free throw shooter gives the Timberwolves the lead here. Noah McKinney to Barazay. Barazay bounce pass, give and go. McKinney got triple team. Now it's Larson. Good! Aaron Larson.
And it all started with the drive of Noah McKinney. He almost faked us out, and it was a no-look pass. Such a smart play.
And that was a three. I didn't think he was behind the arc, but 27-25, Jackson up 2 now. Inbounds in front of us is Luke Nelson. Gets it to Burke Nelson. Now top of the key to Kuntz. Back to Nelson. Burke tries the lane, but the floater won't go. Rebound Noah McKinney. And Teton all of a sudden going cold with the shooting. Here's Noah McKinney. Gives it to Ryder Chapman. Now out to Larson. Aaron Larson tries to drive, just sort of testing things. Geitman. Oh, off the hands of the youngster Hoffman. Right through his hands, a sophomore. And it's out of bounds. The pass was good, maybe a little hot, but
I think that was Ryder, wasn't it?
Was it 31?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Ryder Chapman. Luke Nelson with it now, top of the key. Watched by Larson. Nelson to Strike. Strike finds Kuntz. Kenyon Kuntz drives, bumps into Barazay. His shot no good. And after colliding with Barazay, my shot would be no good too. Now a giveaway to Luke Nelson, who gives it to Thomas, who makes a pass to Kuntz, tries to save it by banging it off of McKinney, but he could not. He was out of bounds himself. Yeah, getting sloppy at times. As good as the first quarter as it was, the second quarter's been a little funky.
Well, if you're a coach, you like to see it. You love to see defensive-minded games, and now that the defense is picked up with the score, you like to see it.
Good point. Yeah, both coaches have said, we better see some defense out there in the second, and we have. Palmer Wetzel, we're down to 1:15 in the half. Jack Barazay driving on Burke Nelson. He did it again. And Teton might have to come up with another answer because Burke Nelson cannot handle Barazay down low.
Yeah, Jack is just too strong and too big, and he's just so good at that move.
Yeah. Luke Nelson with it now. He'll try a three, and that's off the mark. Luke has been quiet after a hot start. Rebound Wetzel. Up ahead to Larson. You got numbers here if you find who's open. Jesse couldn't find, or Aaron could not find the open person. There's Wetzel with it now. 40 seconds. Double team trap, but he remains calm. Gets it to Larson. Long three. No good. Rebound to Luke Nelson. Nelson brings it up. 30 seconds to go in the half. Teton trailed by 4. Jack Strike, top of the key. It's Thomas. Isaac. Now near side of Strike, right in front of us at the elbow. Inside of Burke Nelson. Burke tried to get it out to Luke Nelson. It was picked off by guess who? Noah McKinney. And Palmer Wetzel. Jackson played for a last shot here with 10 seconds to go. Beresay tries to set a pick way out high here. Wetzel wasting a lot of time. Let's get a shot off, and that won't go. It's blocked by Jake Strite. Jake Strite, 6'3", and Larson, 5'8" or 9", and that shot blocked. But positive news at the half. It's Jackson 29, Teton 25. So far, so good. We'll check the halftime statistics, and we'll have Mac Fairbairn play coach, as he so often does, and he'll tell us what Jackson has to do to keep it up. At the half, it's the Bronx 29, T-Wolves 25 on the Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network.
One good play can improve a team's chance of winning the game. And when executed properly over and over again, that play can take a team far. One good decision when you get behind the wheel can do the same. Approximately half of the people who lose their lives on Wyoming roads each year were not wearing a seatbelt. Stay in the game, Wyoming. Buckle up every time you get in your vehicle. It's a winning play. This message brought to you by WYDOT.
Cashmere, silk, down, or denim, Blue Spruce Cleaners is where you take them. We have a friendly, knowledgeable staff eager and happy to serve you in 2 locations and on the road with daily pickup and delivery service and expert tailoring on site. We offer the best in green, effective, and gentle cleaning with Green Earth Cleaning and professional laundry for your sweaters, gowns, comforters, and linens. Blue Spruce Cleaners is a recognized reduce, reuse, recycle business leader, providing green, affordable, and friendly service to our community for over 20 years. Whatever the season, whatever the reason, Blue Spruce Cleaners.
Mac, that was a fun first half. Wow.
Yes, it was. High scoring output relatively. Jackson shooting really well. That's one of the better shooting halves I've seen from these Broncs. Teton also giving back punches. I love the back and forth battle. Like, it's been a very close game. There's been a few lead changes, not like every play, like a very, very close basketball game, but I'm sure we'll see some more lead changes as the third and fourth quarters come. And yeah, this is going to be a fun one to watch for the rest of the game.
For Teton, they're paced by Bradley Brown with his 8. 2 of those were those corner threes. He loves that spot, and he's good at it. You noted how tall he is to get that 3. It's not even fair when a guy that tall can fire the triple. Jack Strite, second leading scorer with 7 on the night. He's had a pretty good game. And then, man, I thought Luke Nelson was going to light this joint up. He had 5 of the first, none of the second. He's been quiet. And those are your top scorers for Teton. Kenyon Coons has added 2. And for the Jackson Broncs, it's Wetzel and Geitman and McKinney and Beresay, all with the big points. Jack Beresay has 6 rather. So does McKinney, both 3s. Will Geitman was 6, all of the 2 variety. Wetzel has a pair of triples to go with a field goal. Jack Beresay on Burke. Nelson down low. Has been an interesting game within a game. I think that's there a lot if Coach Elliott wants to pound the rock. And then from the outside, you know, you just hope Wetzel stays hot or one of the Larsons stays hot. And I think the difference maker, the guy who will show up and be a hero tonight, just throwing it out there, is Will Geitman. I thought he was too quiet Saturday against Natrona. I think Will Geitman could take this place over. But what do you want to do?
I absolutely agree. I mean, Geitman was making a statement early in that first quarter, getting those right-handed layups, but off of rebounds, board and buckets is probably my favorite stat in basketball, because offensive rebounding, more so than even defensive rebounding, takes more effort through my eyes, because you want that ball. It's harder to get an offensive rebound than a defensive rebound, and that's what Geitman did. He started with 3 offensive rebounds and made Teton pay.
That board in the bucket is the biggest play in basketball. You might be right. I mean, look, that's 2 stats generated in 1 play. It's almost a stolen 2 points, because you miss the shot, but you keep it alive. it's huge. The board in a bucket, and Geitman has done it a couple times. If you're Coach Elliott, what do you say? Do you change anything up? Now, the last time these two teams played, it looked great for a half, and then Teton came back. It's Coach Elliott saying, "Look, don't hold up. Don't be conservative. Like, keep playing the way you're playing, because Teton, they're going to be heard from before it's over." 29-25, 4-point lead. What do you do, Coach Elliott?
I think, Coach Elliott, you tell Jackson to keep the foot on the pedal, of course, and run up the score if you can. Jackson's shooting really well. You just never know how the game works. Sometimes Jackson could get cold like a snap of the fingers. So if that happens, then make some timeouts, make some adjustments, maybe go in for inside buckets with Geitman and Jack Berzay if the three-point shot starts to not fall. But if the three-point shot falls, you're in luck if you're Jackson. If you get Aaron going, Aaron had a 3 in the first half. Jackson shot really, really well and got it from a variety of scorers. That's the biggest factor to me, is Jackson is getting more and more of a balance on that score sheet from the whole collective team, and it's really awesome to see because you got players gaining experience and gaining the confidence and ability, thinking, oh my gosh, I could become a lethal player and lethal scorer just from playing against a lethal team. And Teton is a very good team. It is hard to beat Teton, especially in Teton. Jackson has not beaten Teton in at least the last 5 years, if I had to say.
Yeah, even those super teams, we struggle with Teton or something. I don't know if they get in your head like Star Valley. They're just a good team, and they really get up to play Jackson. Teton does. Jackson Bronx out of the locker room early, and they get a big hand from the crowd that had to traverse the hill there. All right, Mac, that's your best Coach Elliott impression. I'm going to ask you now to go back to being a player. And I'm going to, from a player's standpoint, what do you think about coaches' uses of timeouts? I don't know. We saw a timeout in that whole first half from either coach. I can't remember one. Should coaches call timeouts to stop runs? Should they call timeouts to teach? Or would players rather let the game flow? What do you think about timeouts?
I think it depends on the game. This is one of those games where you didn't really need to call a timeout. Usually Jay calls, both Jay Silver and Matt Elliott, they're both good at calling timely timeouts. And neither of them, known for calling their timeouts, didn't call hardly any timeouts because both offenses were flowing. No team was going on a major run. There hasn't been a major lead in this game. So if there's a major run, yes, that's when you absolutely call the timeout before the run gets too bad. So that is the time to call a timeout. I think, yes, if you have repeated plays with turnovers, even if the other team doesn't take advantage, if you get 3 or 4 turnovers in a row, then obviously something isn't working and you got to talk it over. So I think it honestly just depends on the game and depends on how the ball swings through each play.
You're the Jackson Bronx. You lost on your home court last month to this Teton team in overtime. How much is that in your mind now, and you want to go get this one back and spoil it on their court?
I think every player is savoring this game. You have to.
Yeah.
Because it's every year, Teton always escapes. Here at home especially, they have won every single game here in Teton, and then they've won a lot of games in Jackson as well. So it's like, let's do what they did to us and bring it here and take the win on an opponent's court. That is always something special when you win on the road.
Kimmy K, we've already got those stats.
You read them.
I was able to add the numbers faster than you.
You did?
I can't press any of the right buttons on the computer, but I can add fast, sort of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were looking at Bradley Brown, his 2 threes from his favorite baseline spot. Luke Nelson hot in the first, cold in the second. Jake Strite having a pretty good game. And then I'm looking at that Berzay Burke Nelson matchup down low. Jack Berzay. Boy, we saw him, the tipping point of Berzay. He turned a corner last weekend, didn't he? He became this kind of player that was hungry to score.
Absolutely. Jack Berzay, and he could score with both hands. He does like his left side moves. He's really strong at that. But you saw a right-handed hook from him as well, and he's definitely practiced and worked hard over the offseason to work with both hands. And when you become a two-dimensional player on both sides, scoring on all around, it just makes you that much better and makes you a force to be reckoned with. And Jack has definitely been a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I mean, Berzay last year and the year before was just sort of that football player you put down low post and you said, let him just be a physical presence. And now this kid's playing basketball. Holy cow. He's a terror. He's a tough matchup, and he's doing it again tonight against Teton. So, yeah, we'll take one more quick break, come back with the second half. After one half of play, it's Jackson 29, Teton 25. Back in a moment.
Jackson Lumber, the board store, Jackson's oldest business and only true lumber yard in town. Jackson Lumber's hardware people are the best in the business, and they do it right the first time. Jackson Lumber works with people who make a living building, so the tools they sell are definitely the best hand tools and power tools available, with names like Vest Tool, Milwaukee, Makita, Skillsaw, Senko, Fine, and DeWalt. Jackson Lumber, the board store at 130 South Grovemont. Call 733-6000, 733-6000.
Of the Jackson Bronx, Jake Nichols on KZ95.
Jake, Mac, Kimmy K here in Driggs, bringing you all the action. Jackson Teton. It's a Jackson 4-point lead as we begin the third. We're going to switch sides and try to identify who's on the floor for Jackson. It's McKinney, Larson, that would be Aaron, Jack Berzay, Will Geitman, and Palmer Wetzel. And for Teton, it looks like they're starting five out there as well. Both Nelson, Strite, Brown, and I think I saw Coons, maybe not. There's Brown with a long three. That's no good off the back of the iron. Isaac Thomas is that. Yeah, both starting five for both teams. That shot missed out of bounds. So Jackson a chance to add to a 4-point lead just underway here in the third. Wetzel floats one into Berzay, who took his eye off the ball for a moment and lost it, but Palmer helped him out. There's a reach in by Burke Nelson to poke it loose, but Wetzel gets it. Berzay with a nice pass to find it open. Geitman, and he lost the handle of the baseline drives, taken away by Bradley Brown. Geitman had an idea. He wanted a baseline drive. It looked open, but he got his pocket picked. And there's a long three from Thomas, no good, but an offensive board. And the other Nelson is going to make it work. Luke Nelson. And you cannot give Teton second chances.
Yeah, this is a Teton energized team from a halftime deficit. They really want to come back into this.
Ooh, Larson eyed that three for a moment, but Isaac Thomas got over there and he backed off it. Berzay to Wetzel. Wetzel runs right by Strite and puts it up and in. Palmer Wetzel blew the doors off of Jake Strite, went to the rack and put it home. And the and three.
And that's what Palmer does best, is attack the basket, and usually it's a bucket every time or a foul, and right there was a 3-point play potential.
That first step of Palmer is explosive. He really can get by guys. As he missed that,
nice.
But the rebound, Will Geitman to save Wetzel's miss. Here's Geitman with it now, out to Palmer. You know, the threat of Wetzel shooting the three allows him to get by guys sometimes. There's Berzay in the paint. Jack Berzay with a left hand. That's a more difficult shot than you think.
Yeah, and Jack practices that shot as well, not only from his low post moves. He's good at the mid-range.
Burke Nelson gets it back to Luke Nelson. Luke up here to Thomas. Strite. Now to Brown. Back to Thomas. Back to Brown. Brown inside to Burke Nelson. Outside. Thomas. Long three. Short. Will Geitman comes down with a rebound and a double dribble there. He was being pestered by Jack Strite, and it caused Geitman to double dribble. I'm not sure I saw that, but he had us back to us. 6 minutes to go in the third. 33-27. Jackson with a 6-point lead. Luke Thomas to inbounds for the T-Wolves. Up top, Thomas around the perimeter. There's no damage here. They're well outside the arc. Now the drive, and that's Kenyon Kuntz. And if there's been one player on the T-Wolves that has not been hesitant to attack the rack, it's this guy, Kuntz. The sophomore, aggressive move there. And he got the bucket and a chance for the and one here. Kuntz, a 52% free throw shooter. And he's short with that. But the rebound, Teton. Oh, taken away by Wetzel. Burke Nelson had it, and Wetzel took it away from him. Now Noah McKinney with Luke Nelson on him. Noah pulls up, gets help from Larson. Larson takes a screen from Wetzel, but gets double-teamed trapped. Well, they look to trap Larson every time. Inside scramble, that's Wetzel. Impossible shot, and he makes it. Holy cow.
Just like they drew it up, obviously.
Wetzel with just the underhand scoop. He was directly under the basket and made it. Isaac Thomas now, hands off inside. That's a nifty pass to Bradley Brown. Brown swings it around to Luke Nelson. Jackson playing good D here. Teton half-court offense can be stagnant at times. I've seen them on film. Sometimes they just have trouble creating anything. There's Luke Nelson with the three. Rattles in, out, and now the rebound. And Larson put a hand on Burke Nelson. He's going to get caught there. I don't mind the foul. Good, tough rebounding. Oh, but wait a minute. Are they calling? Okay, they had Baraze's number up there. It'll be
on Jesse
Larson. Yeah, that's his first, Jesse. Here comes the inbounds from Luke Nelson. All the way out here to Jack Strite. Into the nail, kick out, around the horn. And really, it's no damage done with these passes, although here's an inside play to Burke Nelson, but he gets a double team. Good, strong defense. Baraze and Geitman doubled up on Burke Nelson. He coughed it up. If you're going to go down low in the paint, get ready for hands. There's Jesse in the corner. Good, Jesse. Larson with a three. Jackson with the biggest lead of the night. 38-29 with 4:15 to go in the third. Bradley Brown works it to Luke Nelson. To Burke, back to Luke. Now a cutting Coons, and he missed the shot. Nelson with the putback, but he got fouled by Wetzel, I believe. And you don't want Palmer in foul trouble. I think that's 2 on him.
Yeah, and Teton's trying to get those second chance opportunities whenever they can, and they might make Jackson pay with free throws here.
That's 3 on Wetzel. Keep an eye on him. Meanwhile, Kenyon Coons really is the only guy driving the lane, the only guy really moving for Teton, and he's done it well. And that created that whole deal there where they draw the foul. Luke Nelson, by the way, hit that first one. Here's his second. Good. And it's 38-31, 7-point Jackson lead. Palmer Wetzel with it now. He wants a screen from Baraze all the way out here at the half court. He gets it now. The give and go to Baraze. They worked that play a couple times today, Mac.
Yes, they have. They love that pick and roll because Teton really wants to trap Palmer.
Palmer Wetzel, nice floater in the lane. Good. He got a shooter's roll there, didn't he? 9-point Jackson lead with 3:40 to go in the third. Jack Strite gets it poked away by Jesse Larson for a moment, and he got it back. Inside to Strite. Strite double teamed, almost coughed it up. Now Luke Nelson, he was wide open for a moment. Inside to Burke. Burke turn around. Good. And Burke Nelson gives Baraze a little taste of that.
Yeah, that's a nice jump hook right there. Very fundamental.
Almost fading away on that jump hook. He anticipated Baraze coming after it. Here's Wetzel. Ooh, good pick from Geitman, but nothing but a lot of bumping. Larson to Palmer Wetzel, working on Bridger Hawkins now. Foul reach in, and is it Hawkins or Nelson? Luke, I think it's on him. He's the one complaining the most anyway. And he's the guy you don't want in foul trouble if you're Teton. It's 3 on him and 3 on Wetzel. Your 2 top guys on either team. Oh, there's a hard contact. Burke Nelson into Jesse Larson. Jesse says, I'm okay. Noah said, you kind of got your bell rung there. And Jesse said, I'm fine.
Well, that's typical Larson fashion right there. They'll run through a brick wall just to win.
That brick wall was a 6'4" senior Burke Nelson. Oh, that pass to Wetzel off his hands. Geitman too high with it. And I think Geitman's going to sit here as Coach Elliott did not like that pass. Here's Luke Nelson. Inside Burke Nelson, and that's 2 trips in a row where Burke Nelson has been tough down low. And a timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him. It's Jackson 40, Teton 35. Back in a moment. More action on the Jackson Hole Radio Sports Network.
Cashmere, silk, down, or denim, Blue Spruce Cleaners is where you take them. We have a friendly, knowledgeable staff, eager and happy to serve you in 2 locations and on the road with daily pickup and delivery service and expert tailoring on site. We offer the best in green, effective, and gentle cleaning with Green Earth Cleaning and professional laundry for your sweaters, gowns, comforters, and linens. Blue Spruce Cleaners is a recognized reduce, reuse, recycle business leader, providing green, affordable, and friendly service to our community for over 20 years. Whatever the season, whatever the reason, Blue Spruce Cleaners.
Live play-by-play coverage of Jackson Bronx sports continues with Jake Nichols on KZ95.
Coach Elliott working the whiteboard again, but working his jaw a little more than that. What's he telling the kids?
Well, I think this was a good timeout call because Teton's been in this situation before. They were down 10 in Jackson in the third quarter, and Jackson had a similar lead, and now Teton's trying to come back. And I think this timeout call was more just to stop this, what could be a Teton push to come back into this game.
Good point. Just trying to stop the bleeding for the moment. Wetzel to the backcourt pass to McKinney. Back to Palmer Wetzel being watched by Hawkins. Now to Barazay. Nice bounce pass to McKinney, cutting down the lane. Good. McKinney got away from Kenyon Coons. And he put the layup in, and a great job to identify him and make the pass. Kenyon Coons with it now. He'll try it on McKinney. Good. Kenyon Coons answers. And back and forth we go. 42-37, just over 2 minutes to go in the third. Little bit of pressure for Teton. Didn't bother Jackson at all. Here's McKinney to Wetzel. Palmer Wetzel on Hawkins inside of Barazay. Will Geitman with a cut. And he draws the foul. He walked again. I thought he drew the foul on Kenyon Coons, but he moved his feet. Will Geitman. But a good idea to find Will on that baseline. He's big. There's not a lot of guys that can match up with him. 5-point Jackson lead, but Teton has the ball. It's Bradley Brown, the 6'4 junior. To Thomas, now to Hawkins. To Thomas, now kicks it right inside. Outside Hawkins around the horn. Now penetration from Kenyon Coons as usual. And Isaac Thomas back out, reset Hawkins. Not a lot going on. Kenyon Coons inside, working on Barazay. Barazay makes the block. And a jump ball, I believe, yes. But Jack Barazay, that was clean, Mac. Wow.
Oh, yes. Jack's got very active hands. And Jackson, just really good job staying down, staying low, committing to that whole possession, because that was a very long possession by Teton.
It was. Jackson stayed disciplined. And that's going to be, what did Noah do there? Did he walk?
He was out of bounds. His foot must have touched the sideline.
Minute 25 to go. Teton has come and roaring back here in the third, but Jackson still holds that 5-point edge. It just feels like it's getting closer. Thomas, Nelson and Nelson pitch and catch. Thomas, Bradley Brown, now back to Isaac Thomas. Brown's going to try a long three, rattles in and out. Luke Nelson keeps it alive for a moment, but he tipped it right to McKinney. And that's when Coach Elliott wanted a timeout. Luke Nelson had a good idea, kept the ball live, but it went right to Noah. And he grabbed the rock. So with 1:11 to go, the coaches are starting to coach a little bit. What are they scheming up now?
Well, I think part of the reason why he called that timeout is because, one, he does have a lot of timeouts to use because he saved them from the first half.
Yeah.
So I think that was just to help Noah, who's in trouble, triple team, trapped, just to get everything settled down, and now Jackson can walk into their full court offense because we might see pressure from Teton. It looks like we are going to see pressure from Teton.
Yeah, Noah had the ball, but he had three guys around him, and we've seen him sometimes give that ball up when he's pressured. So good timeout by Elliott. Here's Wetzel looking for an bounce pass to McKinney. Oh, back to
Woo!
Wetzel, and I don't know if Palmer was on the same page, but he found it. Palmer across the line. Hawkins watching him, and what is that, a push-off? Oh. I didn't see a whole lot there.
Replay.
It was a 10-second violation.
Oh, that was a fast 10.
Very fast 10.
Wow.
The crowd's not too happy.
Fast 10. That means Palmer Wetzel did not get it over the half court in enough time. Now the referee said maybe my count was wrong, and he is going to fix it. And the Jackson crowd likes that. He said, all right. Well, we started this game without the clock going at all, the official time. And then we had a shot clock that wasn't noticed. So time has been a key theme in this one. Berzay with it now. Hands off to Wetzel. No, he fakes it. Now he does hand it off. Wetzel drives the lane, picks up a double team. What a block. That's Bradley Brown, but Jack Berzay with the rebound. His shot no good. Wetzel finds it. Berzay out to McKinney. Quickly in the corner to Geitman. They got to fire one here. The shot clock.
3 seconds.
Wow. Well, it was good rebounding, Mac.
Yes, I'm surprised. Jack has very quick hands offensively as well. He could catch it when the ball is hurling at him, which happened there 3 times.
Yeah, and I think one of those passes was not intended for Berzay.
No.
That was coming out high, and Berzay grabbed it. There's a shot up and in. That's Isaac Thomas with a strong move down low to make it 42-39. Jackson with it now. 15 seconds left in the third. Wetzel, Berzay's got a wide open lane, but he finds McKinney. 3, short. And the rebound pulled down by Bradley Brown. Teton playing for a last shot. 5 seconds to go in the third. Hawkins up top to Thomas. Over to Luke Nelson fires at the buzzer. And he's short with a shot. That's how the third will end. Well, who do you give, if this was a prize fight, Mac, who do you give round 3 to? That was kind of even.
That was an even quarter. I think Teton did fight back into it. I think Jackson had a 4-point lead at the half, so they did win the quarter by a single point. But Jackson staying composed. They were both teams just fighting. I love the effort of both these teams. Coached very well by 2 very good coaches. And I think, yeah, this is going to be a very fun game to finish it.
Jackson Bronx 8 minutes away from stealing one here on the Teton home court and returning the favor. They lost a heartbreaker in overtime to the T-Wolves a month ago, and each team trying to take one from the other team's court. That's never easy to do, and this may not be one of the better Bronx teams we've seen, but they may be poised to do something that even the best teams haven't done, and that's win here in Driggs. That seems impossible.
Well, only time will tell. I think the team with more effort is going to win this game because it comes down to defense, and if Jackson only ties the quarter, they still win the game.
Yeah, that 3-point advantage. All you got to do is play it neutral here if you can, but you also don't want to let up at all. Jack Strite with it now. Oh, his pass. Noah McKinney with those hands.
Oh.
And a foul call to McKinney. Coach Elliott does not like that one.
I don't think I like that one either. I'm with the crowd right now.
No, wait a minute. They called it on Teton.
Oh,
That's
okay,
on
then
Jack.
I'm okay with that.
He said number 23. He rang up Strite, I believe. McKinney knocked it loose, and I think Strite retaliated. And yes, they got it right.
Yep, they
That's
did.
on Jack
Okay.
Strite. Jake Strite, rather. So, yeah, that's twice the referees have figured it out, and I think made the right call on both occasions. 3-point lead for Jackson. They have the ball. Palmer, Wetzel, and Luke Nelson playing with 3 fouls. Doesn't seem to be a factor so far. Inbounds pass to McKinney with Luke Nelson on him. McKinney so fast, so quick. Pass, he wanted Geitman, but there was just too many white jerseys there. Nelson was there, Coons and Strite, 3 guys on him, and never got to Geitman. Backdoor pass, up and in. Will Geitman lost track of Bradley Brown, and Brown on that baseline backside made him pay. 1-point lead. Berzay, wide open for a moment. Kick out McKinney. Now to Larson. Aaron puts his man in the air. Now back to McKinney. Jackson settled down, trying to find something. Good screen from Geitman. Wetzel bounce pass into Will. Will finds Barazay up and in. Jack Barazay. Nifty bounce pass, dangerous, but he made it.
Yeah, and that's something both Will and Jack are so good at, is they look for the open post player as post players themselves.
And you have to make bounce passes in there because it's so crowded. Here's Bradley Brown with that patented baseline three, no good. Coons with a rebound. He missed that. Coons hung in the air for about 5 minutes and missed the shot, but he was in the air so long that he drew the foul. And it's on Barazay, his fourth.
Oh. I thought he said 21 there for a second.
See if Coach Elliott chooses. Coach Elliott really does not like to take Barazay out of the game. He's so important to what he's doing. He's going to stay for now. 6:42 to go. And the lead is cut to 2.
Nope, he's bringing him out.
Yes, he does. He'll send in Ethan Hoffman, the sophomore. Barazay's been a beast, but he'll have to sit for a moment with 4 fouls. Kenyon Coons, the second of 2. Yes. And he's been money at the line. It's 44-43 with 6:40 to go in regulation. Jesse Larson with it, or Aaron Larson with it now. Tries to blow by Coons, but cannot. Pass to McKinney. That's a bad one. That got away from Noah, out of bounds.
Ooh.
And that hurts when you make a trip up court and have nothing to show for it, not even the shot.
Ooh.
And here we go. We got Jesse going in for Aaron.
It's hard to figure out which one is hot at the moment. They both hit some big shots here. As Burke Nelson finds a cutting Luke Nelson. Wide open Brad Brown for 3, and now he's missed a couple. But Kenyon Coons with the board in the bucket. Coons gives Teton. Kenyon Coons with another steal. Oh my! Kenyon Coons is taking over this game for the T-Wolves. McKinney with it now for Jackson. Coach Elliott letting his boys play out of it. And McKinney, did he step out of bounds? What's that
no,
call?
I think we had timeout.
There's a foul call.
Oh, it was a foul. Okay, I thought we said timeout too.
McKinney, that's 2 straight Kenyon Coons steals, and he made Jackson pay. 47-44, just like that. A 1-point lead for Jackson, a race to a 3-point deficit. 5:56 to go. Wetzel inbounds to McKinney. McKinney with Coons on him. Watch out, Kenyon Coons feeling it. McKinney gets it to Wetzel. He'll try a 3. Geitman putting a nice shield, but it's short. Wetzel wanted a call or something there. I'm not sure what he was saying. Geitman sent him a beautiful pick. Here's Jack Stride inside. He lost the handle. And it's picked up by Will Geitman. What a great play. Geitman working the right side. That's a reach in. Jack Stride going to be guilty there. That's twice now Teton got caught getting their hands in the pot.
Yes, and pay attention to those fouls because Teton only needs 2 more fouls to put Jackson into the bonus, and free throws is going to be a huge factor when the game comes down to the wire.
Just the second on strike for Teton. Barazay's back in there replacing Ethan Hoffman. Playing with 4 fouls, 5:26 to go. Jackson down 3 now. They have the ball. Palmer Wetzel will inbounds. Palmer on that last 3 came up well short. Somebody might have got a piece of it. Palmer didn't like something about it. He was talking to the ref. Wetzel to McKinney. Now to Barazay. Barazay top of the key. Burke Nelson on him, and the pass tipped and stolen. Up ahead to Burke Nelson, and he puts the layup in. And Jackson turnovers are killing him right now.
And that's been the story this season, but they're letting Teton anticipate and run the pace of this game.
Larson with it now. That's Jesse into Barazay. Barazay working the post on 2 guys, puts it up. Almost. He was working Kenyon Coons, and that ball did everything but go down. Wow. Coons, good defense, and he got the rebound. Strike. He'll take that shot, and it misses. Too strong. Rebound on the backside, though, by Bradley Brown. Teton keeps it alive. Whistle and a timeout called by the T-Wolves. Coach Jay Silver wants to talk to the troops for a minute. 4:35, and boy, as advertised, I don't know if it's this building, I don't know what it is, but Teton they're never going to go away. You know that.
Well, Teton historically has been very, very resilient. They're showing it right here, but now Jackson is also showing proof of their own resilience, and this is really going to show a test of who this team really is. If they can come back and tie the game within the next 4 minutes and make it very interesting, I think they have the capabilities of doing it. They just got to slow it down just a little bit and be more patient and take care of those passes and limit those turnovers.
Oh, this is the classic who wants it more situation. 4.5 minutes. It's down to who wants it more. I mean, both teams can win this. It's there for the taking. Who wants to grab it? Luke Nelson inbounds pass to Brown. He's in a lot, or Burke Nelson. He gets out of trouble. Coons with a drive. His pass never got to anybody, out of bounds, and they're going to give the ball to Teton. I thought Coons threw it away, honestly. He was looking for Bradley Brown. Brown will inbounds. To Luke Nelson, back to Bradley Brown. Jack Strite, he's got a baseline three. He'll try it. Good job by Barazay to come way out to challenge that. And the shot missed. Pass to Barazay, and he barely saved it. Jack Barazay is very athletic for a big guy. Look at the Euro step. Oh, that was a highlight reel play from Palmer Wetzel.
Just a thing of beauty, looking like George Gervin with that finger roll, getting it above the defenders.
Man, he just stepped there, stepped here, and finger rolled it in. Here's Luke Nelson with the answer. No good. Noah McKinney with the rebound. Wetzel with it now. Jackson can tie with a three. Wetzel over the line. Bradley Brown watching him. Palmer pulls up his dribble. Backhand pass to Barazay in the paint. Barazay tried to give it back to Wetzel, and it's stolen away. And the jam by Bradley Brown. Oh, careless pass there. Brad Brown stole it and jammed it. 51-46, still plenty of time here. Barazay in the lane, up over the top of two players. Coons was there, Burke Nelson was there, and it looks like Coach Silver has identified Barazay as killing Burke, and he said, Canyon, I need you to come over and help. The last few shots Barazay has gotten off, Burke Nelson has been in his face, and so has Coons. He's seen a lot of white.
Well, in terms of scouting report, Jay Silver has a huge advantage. He's coached this squad for the last 2 previous years, which always helps.
He's well aware of what 22 is capable of. Meanwhile, the hefty lefty sinks the first one. Jack eyes the second, and he can't get it. Rebound is Teton as Coombs comes down with it. Canyon's had a good ball game for the T-Wolves. Far side of Jack Strite. Jake Strite, rather, back to Coons. Canyon kick out, Strite. Jake's going to try it. Oh! Jake Strite delivers. And it's a three. Here comes Palmer Wetzel over the line to Larson. Larson, stutter step inside of Barazay. His shot, no good. And Luke Nelson comes down with the board. And every trip up that Jackson does not put it up points is costly. We're down to 240. And it's 54-47 Teton. Inside to Coombs. Kick out. Nelson. Luke walks right through the paint. Nobody bothers him at all. Cross-court pass to Strite. Jake Strite back to Nelson. Nelson tries it. Gets it. Luke Nelson with what could be the dagger. Gives the T-Wolves a 10-point lead with that three. Ooh. Palmer Wetzel on Bradley Brown. A lot of contact. They let him play. In the corner, open is Geitman. Bounce pass inside to McKinney. Oh, I want Will to shoot that shot. Now up ahead, Teton the other way. It's in. And that's Jake Strite. 59-47 Teton. Larson with the ball for the Bronx. Pulls up his dribble. It looked like he walked. No call. Gives it to Wetzel. Palmer inside of Barazay. Jack backs Burke Nelson up into the lane, puts a shot up and over him, no good. And it's Jake Strite with a rebound, and Barazay cannot make that short one work anymore. And Jackson might better try threes here at this point. Strikes way off with that one. And Palmer Wetzel with a rebound. 1:20 to play. Jackson down 12. Palmer Wetzel up and in. Did not see a lot of defense on that. I think Teton realizes they're up big here and not playing a lot of hard defense maybe. It's a 10-point game with a timeout. Minute 18 to go.
Well, here's the thing. Teton, they've had a good run, and that's the run they needed. But Jackson's doing a good job of trying to look to score quickly. Like, Jack's going up, trying to score right away. They're trying to get back into this. The only issue is now that you have this deficit, now Jackson's going to have to force, if they haven't already, to try and come back, and it might now be too late.
Yeah, when it got to crunch time and Teton turned up the heat, the Jackson Bronx got sloppy with the passes. Just too many turnovers in those last 2 or 3 minutes. And I said Teton isn't really a transition fast team, but boy, did they go to the rack when they found a steal. They went right. They knew where to go with it. And how many of those last 10 points from Teton were a steal, a pass, an errant pass, and then a breakaway?
Yeah.
One guy on a fast break and lays it up and in. One of them a jam by Burke Nelson. Yeah, too many points off the bad passes. Jackson going to dial up some heat here. Full court pressure. Pass into Coons. Canyon Coons being tried. They want to hack him, but they can't get him. Finally, they do. And, you know, just the token swipe, you got to whistle, because if you don't get that, then you might see some harder contact. McKinney finally committed the foul that Jackson knows they have to commit. With a minute 12, Teton's not going to shoot. You're going to have to send the T-Wolves to the line. To a man, they're a pretty good free throw shooting team. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. It's 59-49, the score with 1:12 to go here in the fourth. You're enjoying Bronx basketball on KZ95, the Jackson Hole Radio Network.
Experience Jackson Hole like a local. Recently renovated, the 49er boasts a new lobby, extended continental breakfast, indoor swimming pool, fitness facility, and 12-person outdoor hot tub. Located on Pearl Street, the 49er is just 3 short blocks from Jackson's greatest bars and restaurants, where you'll find your home away from home. Enjoy your time in Jackson as part of the Town Square Inns, and stay at the 49er Inn and Suites.
This is KZ95 with live coverage of the Jackson Bronx.
All right, both teams back out on the floor. Time is the enemy of the Bronx. 59-49. They trail by 10, so the scoreboard a little bit of an enemy as well. We got to get 10 points real quick, Mac.
Yeah, I have to pull Tracy McGrady, 13 points in 35 seconds on them.
Is that right?
Yep.
I've seen it before.
Here's Jack Strite with it now. Baseline on it. Oh, boy, I thought he stepped out, but Larson, I think, poked him and is going to draw the foul here. Yeah, it's going to be on Jesse. I mean, you got to do it. You can't let these guys just run around. They're just burning clock. There's going to be a lot of fouling from here on out as Burke Nelson now to Bradley Brown. He gets touched up. Brown, a 48% free throw shooter.
Ooh. Now Wetzel has 4, though. I don't know if that's a...
Yeah, I mean, it's... You can't pick and choose at this point. You've got to send Teton to the line. You can't pick who you want to send or who commits the foul. You're desperate here. McKinney, is he going to wrap up Luke? Nope. It's going to be Barazay, and it's not the guy you wanted on either. Yeah,
He's fifth.
You're better off if Noah committed that foul, and I thought he did. And I think Coach Elliott is telling him you got to be more deliberate when you foul. I know you don't want to hurt anyone, but if you're going to foul, you got to foul.
Nice game, Jack.
And Jack Barazay had to come in and commit that foul because McKinney did not. And to the line is Luke Nelson, the last guy you want to send there, as he doesn't use the rim usually when he doesn't use it there either. He's pretty good. 60-49, an 11-point lead with 58 seconds to go. Luke Nelson, the 6'1 junior, good. And it's 61-49, Jackson ball. Palmer Wetzel with it now for the Bronx. Desperation mode. There's the big three. Good! Palmer Wetzel I tell you, he shoots better when he has
Oh,
to.
yeah. He's done that a few times.
Burke Nelson. Burke Nelson wanted to jam, and Will Geitman denied him, I think. I think Burke was going to slam it, and Will Geitman got in there and just got a finger on it. But now there's a foul in the rebound scramble, I think, and that's going to send Jake Strite to the line. Strite, by the numbers on the season, is 58% free throw shooter, but I think tonight he's been a lot better than that. 39 seconds, Strite, short. Stays a 9-point game. Teton has 2 players way in the backcourt. Strite converts the second, and it's back to a 10-point lead for the T-Wolves. Noah McKinney with it now. For Jackson, going to drive right down the lane. Teton not interested in playing a whole lot of defense here. They don't want to commit a foul on a layup, but they do deny the basket, and there is a foul.
Well, even though Jackson didn't go for a 3, which is what you'd want to do, Noah did a great job of drawing the foul, which is the second best option, scoring when the clock is not running.
Yes, if you get it to go, you got a chance for the conventional 3, especially if they're going to part the seas and let you walk in. You say, all right, I'll take the 2, and then I'll try to hit somebody's arm on the way there, but Kenny misses the first. The second is off the back of the iron as well. Rebound, Brown gets it to Luke Nelson, and Wetzel touches him. No call. And, yeah, with 22 seconds, Jackson has kind of given up on the idea of fouls. And they're going to let a lot of clock run here, but Teton, I know it's a heated rivalry, but everybody knows everybody in this.
Everybody's hugging already.
Yeah, this one is going to run out. So that's how we'll end it with Teton 62, Jackson 52 is the final. Kimmy K is going to go make a stats run, and we'll wrap it up for you right after these words. Post-game show coming up next on the Jackson Hole Radio.
Experience Jackson Hole like a local. Recently renovated, the 49er boasts a new lobby, extended continental breakfast, indoor swimming pool, fitness facility, and 12-person outdoor hot tub. Located on Pearl Street, the 49er is just 3 short blocks from Jackson's greatest bars and restaurants, where you'll find your home away from home. Enjoy your time in Jackson as part of the Town Square Inns, and stay at the 49er Inn and Suites.
They say the best offense is a good defense. This theory applies on Wyoming's roads and highways just as much as it does on the basketball court. Always know road conditions before you head out. Visit wyoroad.info, download WYDOT's 511 app, or call 511 for current conditions. Buckle up every trip, every time, and put away distractions, especially your phone, so you're better prepared for the unexpected. Finally, never drink and drive, not even a little, because buzz driving is drunk driving. This message brought to you by WYDOT.
We're back courtside to wrap it up one last time, and once again, I guess you call it the Teton Jinx, or I don't know, but Jackson Bronx played 3 quarters and not 4, and that was the problem tonight. That close, Mac.
Oh, yes, It was right there, and that's one that you look back on and you're like, oh, you could have had it, but what can you do? The game's in the past, and you got to move on to the next one. I think Riverton on Thursday, I believe.
Yes.
And that, you've got a lot of very good competitive games, and that's a very winnable game. Jackson will go to Riverton, who they lost by 5 earlier in the season. But
there's our expert analyst.
Very winnable game. Yeah, very winnable game against Riverton. So you just got to look forward, forget this ever happens.
Yeah.
Maybe be mad about it for the night, but then tomorrow is a new day, new practice, new focus.
Yeah, a lot of good things for the Bronx, but once again, Teton pulls away in the end. Kimmy, what do you got stats-wise for the T-Wolves?
All right, let's start with Burke Nelson with 6. His brother Luke, 14.
That's right at his average usually.
Isaac Thomas contributed 2. We got Bradley Brown with 12. Kuntz with 16. And Jack Strite, sorry. 14.
Oh. Yeah, Jake had a good game. I'm going to go first because even if you told me Kenyon Kuhn scored 4 points tonight instead of double his usual 7, my eyes went to him all night. I thought Kenyon Kuhn's created. I thought he did a lot of things for Teton. He was electric and fun to watch. The 6'2 sophomore going to get 2 more years of him. Mac, who do you like on the T-Wolves?
I also liked Kenyon Kuhn's. He had a very, he was scoring in a variety of ways, but I also, again, like the girls, this Teton team is just so deep and young, too, that not many seniors, mostly sophomores and juniors, and it's crazy. We're going to see a lot of returning players next year, and that's just scary for any opponent going against Teton, but I like they had 2 high scorers with at least 14. Nelson had a solid game. Bradley Brown had a great game. I think this whole team, so many players contributed, and if I had to choose one player, it could be a toss-up, but I would have to go with either Isaac Thomas or Kenyon Kuhn's.
All right, KBK.
I would say Kuntz or Luke Nelson. So I guess I agree with you all.
Yeah, this team, Teton's ability to reload is highly dependent on them making babies over here in Teton Valley. They just keep, if it's not the Hoosevelts, it's the Nelsons, the Coons, the Strites, they just keep coming at you. This team's been able to rebuild, and of course they're under some pretty good head coaching with Jay Silver. And they got the best of the Jackson Bronx in the Battle of the Tetons as they sweep the series. How about Jackson Bronx?
Both Larsons contributed a 3. Geitman has 6. McKinney had what is the next? 8. Bearze 11. And then Palmer Wetzel had 21.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Palmer's ability to make shots when you have to have shots is incredible.
Yeah.
And then you wonder, why doesn't he do that all game? Just launch crazy threes. Kimmy, who's your favorite?
Well, this is hard because at halftime, I was already leaning towards either Geitman or McKinney. But then here at the end, I have to just kind of say Palmer. Which I know he's a given, so if you want all 3. But at halftime, I was like, wow, Will and Noah keep this up, man.
Yeah, and if an MVP is a guy you can't do without, I got to think, Bearze is a guy you don't want off the floor ever, even for a minute, the way he's playing now. But I'll go with the points guy. Palmer Wetzel he scored a bunch.
Yeah, Palmer had a great game scoring in varieties, whether it was hitting threes or whether it was just going to the hoop and attacking. Palmer's just great all around scoring threat, gets lots of rebounds, does a lot of everything. I said Jack against Natrona. I might say Jack again, even though Palmer's had 2 20-point games. So it's hard to choose between Jack and Palmer because I think I'll probably say Palmer for today's sake. But again, Jack, when he was taken out of the game, that was almost it wasn't very long, but that was almost the turning point where Teton took advantage. Once Jack came out, even though he did come back in, Jack wasn't it was hard to incorporate him back into the game, and that's when Teton took advantage. They saw the breaking point, and that was when Jack got his 4th foul. And so Jack had a fantastic game, just his presence down low.
Yeah.
Whether it's not scoring, he doesn't have to score a lot of points, even though he's been scoring a lot in the last 3 games, and I love to see that. Jack's he does all the tough work of the Jackson Bronx.
Palmer's got to be wondering, what do I got to do to get a player of the game out of Mac Fairbairn?
Well,
he's waiting for you in the parking lot.
I'll give it to you, Palmer, this game because 21 points, that keeps Jackson in the game. Without 21 points, Jackson loses by 30. Palmer and Jack scored 30 of Jackson's 49. So
Yeah.
That's true. Yep.
Well, I'll give you another bucket load of ifs. If Palmer Wetzel was healthy last year, Jackson Bronx win a state title. I mean, he was the missing piece, man, and he's been insane this year as a senior for sure.
But yeah, you say that too. I just have to go. See, I don't lean towards Jack because I feel like during football and basketball, that's where my eye goes. And I'm like, wait, am I being impartial? Or just because, like, is everyone going to think he's my favorite because I always go to him? So I'm trying not to go to Jack. But Jack, I love your game.
All right, well, that'll wrap things up from Driggs. Thank you so much, Mac, for getting in here with us. Kimmy K, Jake for Jackson Hole Radio. All the action brought to you by Jackson Lumber, Town Square Inns of Jackson Hole, Big O Tires, Wydot, Blue Spruce. Cleaners can't do it without our sponsors. We'll see you again next from Riverton on the road. We'll have that game for you Thursday. Till then, stay warm, and thank you so much for tuning into this one. Take care.